Okay, welcome to the show. My name is Edward Pereira. We're here with my co-host and good friend, Attila Heveshi. We are here as the support mechanism for Carmichael and the Unincorporated Association family. And our special guest is Ed Barsano. What you're going to see today is a automated crypto trading and money management platform that literally, I know it sounds cliche, but it is set it and forget it. It's not a matter of if it works, will it work? It's been working successfully in the crypto market for the past 4.5 years, and in the stock market trading automated, that is also available for the last almost 26 years. So we have done it successfully, as in Attila and I, and we are the support network to Kirk and family, and a little bit of expectation. So we're going to leave the chat open. The chat is available to everybody. Let me just make sure that's turned on. The chat is to share any questions that you may have as you learn along the way amongst the other attendees. If you have questions, please use the Q&A section, which is found in if you look at your control panel at the bottom of your screen, click on more and click on Q&A. That is to make sure, because you're going to have questions along the way and we'll address them. That's to make sure that as the questions enter your head, please do record them. We are going to go for about 45 minutes in the presentation of the value of what you're going to see, and then we're going to open it up for Q&A. But so everybody knows, we are recording this, so if you can't stay around, I know that you're coming out of a very long training session now, but each week we're going to be doing this same time, same link that you used. And Kurt has the link, which he'll be distributing to larger and larger group. This is the first time we're doing it, and you'll have an opportunity to walk away. We hope we have the privilege of providing as much value as possible. As you already know, the value of the Unincorporated Association. We're going to put you in a position where you have the potential, should you choose, to make money in your sleep. Again, it sounds cliche, but it's been working.
Edward, do
Yes.
you have we're being requested for Kirk to give the link for others to join that are wanting to join. Do you have
Yes.
the regular link, not the speaker link that you could?
We do. Yes. Let me
Yeah,
copy
perfect.
that in. There you go.
Okay, so that's the link. You see that in the chat, Kirk? That's what you want to give whoever asked that of you. I think it was
I did give that out several times at the last minute when we were closing our training. I gave my direct link. I thought to save time because some people just didn't go there. And so anyway,
Yep.
yeah. That's
okay.
a link in the chat, guys. So you can pass that on to your friends or family right now.
Yeah,
Yep.
perfect. Okay, go ahead, Edward. You were going to put a slide up, I think.
Yes. So I'm going to set some. Actually, while I'm doing this, because I bear with me just 1 second. I need 30 seconds to be able to share the screen.
Do what you got to do. I've got a few more things to say. So, like Edward said, let me reiterate. We'll go about 45 minutes in the basic presentation, sometimes a tad longer, depending on what hole we go down. But you'll certainly have ample opportunity to ask questions of myself, Edward, or the creator of this himself, Mr. Barsano, who we'll introduce in a few minutes here. And yeah,
Okay.
there we go.
There we go. Yep, it's coming up. Let me just make the screen larger so everybody can see it. So think of where you are in life, right? This isn't a life story, but it's a story I can tell you from a personal perspective. All of us are in scenario 1, 2, or 3. So scenario number 1 is the rat race, where, by the way, a little bit of background about me. I spent 32 years inside the matrix as a federal agent. So there's information that I've been exposed to over time that most people don't have exposure to. So it gives me a little bit more authority to be able to say, listen, everything that you've been taught or what you believe you've been taught about finance and how your personal finances work and how you prosper is has been pretty much a ruse. I know that's a hard statement, but the the Matrix has taught me that their purpose in life is to keep you uneducated and broke, right? You you guys have a much bigger head start than most because you all, if you're involved with the UNA and the training that you've learned, you've been exposed to understanding that the matrix doesn't. There are things you don't know that you don't know, and the only way that you know them is because of Kirk's and team's excellent work.
Yeah, some of
So,
that stuff you can go fairly quick because we
yep,
that's what we teach about the
yep.
system all day long.
And I'm done with that part. So you
Yeah,
find if
yeah.
you find yourself in the rat race, you know why, right? And you're educated more than most. If you're not in that stage, which is to say you have a job and you make just enough money to pay the bills. Which, by the way, the cruel joke of the Matrix is they came up with the acronym JOB, just over broke, and most of you have heard that before. That's no joke. So scenario number two, you're also taught in modern financial education that you have to grow your credit score. You got to pay your bills on time so that you can buy an asset. But well, actually, it's not an asset. A house is a liability until you own it, right? But obviously, everybody has to have a roof over their head, right? But you're making enough money to pay the bills and to pay the mortgage, which you may have paid 5 years ago 200,000 and the house is worth 400,000. But what the story part of the story is you're not taught is that the depreciation every time the government debases or prints more money into the system, which happens by the billions of the week, between that and inflation, the purchasing power of your dollar goes down. So those two said, if most people fall into scenario one or scenario two, where do you want to be? You want to be in scenario three because you may own some rental properties, or you may own some stocks that pay dividends. But outside of that, there's not very many other scenarios that you can discover that are income producing assets. What you're going to see tonight in this platform is an income producing asset
Yep.
that literally works for you in your sleep. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Attila, have him give a little bit of background because without him connecting years ago with Ed Barsano, we would not have the privilege to know Kirk and we would not be here sharing this with the audience.
Yeah, thank you, Edward. My name is Attila Hevesi. Again, I'm in Florida. And yeah, so my background is mainly financial. And I don't want to bore you with the details, but fortunately for me in 2020, I deliberately made a decision based on me totally missing out on the internet revolution that I was going to learn everything I could about this digital money revolution, which couldn't have taken place without the internet revolution. So I'm not an uber expert, but I know more than 98% of the people walking the streets of what's happened so far, what's happening today, most importantly, what's about to happen in this space with blockchain, DeFi, AI, crypto, etc. You cannot live 10 lifetimes and have this kind of financial opportunity because this digital money revolution, what I mentioned, DeFi and crypto and all that, blockchain, it is the most disruptive technology to come along probably since the advent of electricity. And then within that disruption, we have this disruption we're going to be speaking about tonight, which is a personal cash flow disruption where you could literally automate a portion of your financial life and make money in your sleep. So I want to tell the story of how I met Mr. Barsano. He came out of the Navy, became one of the first 300 people hired by Bill Gates at Microsoft in 1985. Retired a young man after 8 years at Microsoft. He wasn't even 40 yet. And then, fortunately for all of us, in the year 2000, he got crushed in the stock market crash. Why do I say fortunately? Because he got ticked off and he said, I've been robbed. That's unacceptable. I'm going to level the playing field and he decided to build from scratch with his programming prowess a fully robotic autonomous stock market trader and money management system. He launched that in 2001. I was introduced to Ed in 2012. I bought that stock trader. I used it. It was phenomenal. It did exactly what he said it would do. And then I actually helped him market that a little bit for a few years. And they actually sold $16 million worth of traders in just 2 years, which is a lot of business. Let's fast forward now to, for me, life got busy. I was just post-divorce and I kind of lost track of the trader and was really busy helping my son with his baseball scholarships and everything. But 2 years ago, actually March of 24, I'm at my desk and I'm thinking, you know what? I'll bet my friend Ed Barsano somewhere along the line has developed a trader for the cryptocurrency market. I just had a hunch. I still had his number in my phone. I called him. We spoke for 3 hours and he confirmed my hunch. He said until I launched it in April of 2021. And he said, as soon as I turned it on, I realized I'm done with the stock market. And he says, it's light years ahead of the stock trader. And I said, how come? And he said, it's real simple. He gave me four very compelling reasons. Number one, he said, you need the most volatility possible to make money in any kind of trading. And crypto is one of the most volatile asset classes on earth. I said, I agree. He said, number two, stock market's 5 days a week, 6.5 hours a day. Crypto's 24/7, 365. That in and of itself is a massive advantage. But number three and number four is what really got me. He said, it's not downloadable software anymore. It's web-based. And I didn't know what that meant. So I said, what does that mean? He said, if you rebuy the license for the crypto trader, I'll have you live connected to your own exchange in less than 10 minutes. And I was like, whoa, because in 2012, when I bought the stock trader, it took about 90 minutes to get that thing downloaded and set up right. So I
Because he
said,
had a dial-up modem.
dial-up modems and everything. Yeah. So I bought the trader on the spot, and in 8.5 minutes, I was connected to Coinbase, my own Coinbase account. Number four is what really should be the most important thing to all of you on this Zoom tonight. It was the most important thing to me, and I'll tell you why. In the previous 3 years to that conversation with Ed Barsano, I had lost significant monies in 5 different blockchain cash flow projects. Why did I lose those monies? Because I sent my crypto to a third-party exchange or wallet. I lost control of my crypto. So Ed said I created an API connection. And he said, Attila, guess what? That API connects right to your own Coinbase or your own Kraken account. So you and only you control your crypto. I can't touch your crypto. It's 1,000% safe. Folks, that was a godsend to me. And that's when I said to Ed, I said, Ed, and Ed Barsano, self-admittedly, is not a sales and marketing guy. He's a programmer, a genius programmer of 51 years. 25 of those years programming robotic autonomous traders. So I said, let's help you take this to market, and the rest is history. We do help him get the word out globally. He does have customers all over the world. So with that, I just want to ask everybody to keep two things at the forefront of your mind as we go through this. And before I introduce Ed, number one, we're going to say repeatedly tonight a phrase, set it and forget it. Literally, once you own the software and you go live connected to your Coinbase or Kraken, there's nothing else you need to do. You don't need to look at it. You don't need to interact with it. Now, you will look at it. You'll pull it up and see what it's doing every day. It's market dependent. So some days it may not take a profit for you, but guess what? It's still working, and maybe it's buying more positions at a lower price. It's working 24/7 for you. The second thing is, please understand clearly what this man has brought forth to the world globally. Without anybody being an accredited investor, without anybody knowing anything about trading, without anyone knowing anything about crypto, you can literally automate a portion or as much of your financial life as you would like to and make money in your sleep. Literally. So with that, Ed Barsano, the floor is yours. I hope you're able to share your wisdom with everybody tonight like you always do for us. So take it away, Ed.
Absolutely. Boy, you guys sound so serious today. I'll be honest, those guys aren't usually this serious. Um,
Well, we can tell bad dad jokes.
we give marital advice too, by the way. Okay, first
Uh,
off, I wanted to say though that a few things. I always take notes on my Apple 101 device here when Attila's talking to correct things that he said. First off, he called me a genius, and I hate that. So I keep trying to tell him I'm not a genius, but I drink smart water.
Oh, well,
Um,
yeah, that's the inside joke. Are you looking at the screen, Mr. Barsano?
yeah, I am looking at the screen. Oh,
I
you got
too
it too.
drink smart water.
Some people have cases of it, by the way. These guys ought to start paying me.
What say
Um,
you? What say you, Attila? Where's your smart water?
I leave it up to the genius there.
he hasn't drank the Kool-Aid. I like Anthony said.
I'm drinking
Smart
this.
water didn't work for me. I keep trying. That's a great one.
To
Anyways, the other thing I wanted to correct from Attila. First, I want to thank Kirk for letting me talk to your audience. I appreciate that very much. Seriously, nobody ever lets me talk to him. I'm kidding, but I do appreciate you letting me speak to people. That's cool. I really like to get the word out. Um, the biggest challenge with the software for 25 years has never been the software. It's always been the people. So it's hard to promote something that everybody says can't be done. And that was the create that's what it's been for 25 years. It's hard to go to the internet and mention anything, hey man, it's free money, then everybody goes, get out of here, scammer. So I'm not a salesman, so that's one of the issues. I'm just a programmer. And the other thing I wanted to correct what Attila said was before I get into the software was you said I had you said some numbers that were wrong. I when I started at Microsoft, I was one of the first 350 developers, and you
Okay.
said one of the 350 people. So I wasn't. There was like 1,000 people there, but I wasn't. I wasn't in the I wasn't one of the first 350 people. I would be a billionaire right now. um,
Certainly not for the first two.
yeah, right. Yeah.
yeah, and
Um,
Kurt, if you note, um, he's not correcting me.
no, you didn't say anything wrong today. You were so intense. You were so serious, Edward. You were so serious, and that's all I was thinking about while you were talking is like, wow, man, he feels like he's doing a deposition or something, like we're in
Indeed,
course.
indeed.
Usually these guys are a lot funnier. Um, the other thing is, all right, so let me just get started.
Great.
I just made a note there, but I wanted to make a comment that, when I automated the market, I got hammered, all right? Everybody, I think you already know my story, but just in case you
No,
don't, I'll tell it real quickly. I retired from Microsoft in 95. And what does retired mean? Retired means you had so many millions of dollars you quit your job. That's basically what retired is at Microsoft. You just say, I got enough, I'm done. And so I was retired for 5 years. I quit when I was 39, which is crazy, right? Because you don't realize that I always thought people die after they retire because they're old. Wrong. They die because they're bored. So, like when you put up those three categories of struggling, middle class, and then retired, did you notice the guy sitting there just getting drunk all by himself out there in his backyard?
well,
I
there's
mean,
worse ways to spend the day.
yeah, well, he was bored to death. The most fun I ever had in my life was the middle, when you're struggling and you're working your way up and that was a lot more fun. I really enjoy your middle screen more than the one on the right. The right one, I want to drive my Jaguar into a wall. So
Well,
what
I'm I'm
happened? I
I'm
got
betting
lucky.
there's hundreds of people that would disagree with the fact that they would like to take a breather and do what they
Yeah.
want when they want.
Yeah, yeah, it makes it. Yeah, you have to get to that though. Even
Sure.
my youngest brother, my brother from another mother, I always call him. You know, he retired as a police officer a couple of years ago, and now he went back to work. He and I was telling him, boy, you better have some plans if you think you're just going to retire and be done. You're a little too young for that. And he got bored to death. He had fun for a couple of years, and now he's back working on the police force. So so then when the market, so for 5 years I was retired and extremely bored. And then from 95 to 2000, and I was in all the tech stocks that everybody was in. We were all in all that, right? All the tech stocks were going up. And we thought it was all so easy. And I wasn't looking at anything. I was just in everything. And then the market crashed in 2000, and as Attila said, that was all good for us, right? Because the market crashed and 60% of my wealth vaporized. And then I felt like you just robbed me, and I knew I was robbed. So I said, well, I'll go ahead and just automate the market, right? And I didn't think I was doing anything out of the ordinary. I'm a programmer. Of course, if I create software for the stock market, it's going to be automated, right? Fully automated. I didn't realize what I released nobody had done ever. So it was, so I released that and, blew everybody away, right? TD Ameritrade called and said, "Hey, will you connect that to us so our clients can use it?" And I'm like, why are you calling me? Really? I said, I don't advertise or anything. How do you even know me? I'm just word of mouth. Clients share with other clients. And and his answer was vintage. He goes, "You're real." I just thought that was the coolest response to get from him. He says, "You're real." And I said, "You're right. I am real. I'm not playing, you know?" And somebody else once said, "I have no he said, "You're irreverent when it comes to the stock market." I had to Google that to see what he was talking about. And what he was saying is, I don't respect the market. And I'm like, yeah, the market doesn't respect me. They're treating me like I'm 5 years old. And it's just numbers going up and down. And that's what I really want to start with here. And I want to show you what I right away, I assessed the market and I said, okay. I mean, I read all these books, Farmer's Almanac for one. They could predict weather based on history. I think that's the most amazing thing in the world. You could actually do that.
Pattern
Uh,
recognition.
Mastering in the trading zone. I mean, you can get all this stuff off eBay, really. Mastering in the trading zone. I really liked reading this because they said so much of the stuff I believed in that I already knew before I read the book. And one of the things that they pointed out was money management and risk management. And that's how I started with the auto traders. I said, I have to manage the money so we never run out of money if we're automatically trading. You don't want an automated trader burning through all your money. So it's got to do money management and it's got to do risk management because the market's going to throw a lot of fake data at you, and they're just going to be trying to do everything they can to rip you off. Like a few months ago, the crypto market actually it dropped. All the coins dropped 7% and 8%. 7 minus 7 minus 7 minus 8 minus 8. And I said, why? I knew right away when I saw that. I said, well, that's institutional behavior right away. I could see that right away because Joe Public couldn't make all the coins drop exactly 7 and 8%. That has to be institutional behavior, cahooting against the public. But then I asked myself, why 7 and 8% down? Why? What's magical? And then it hit me. Stop losses. All those stop losses that people put in their traders.
Yeah.
And they float them out there publicly. They say if the coin drops 7% or 3%, close my position. So they wanted to make sure they got all of the stop losses. So they didn't just go do put hit the people that put in stop losses at 3. They said, let's get the ones that put in stop losses at 4, 5, 6, 7%. And what and that means all those people, millions of shares vaporized in one day. So when all those cells automatically went in, who do you think was on the other end sucking up all those shares? That wasn't me and you. That was the institutions. They forced those coins down there, and then they took advantage of all the selling that took place. So that kind of corruption I've been observing for 25 years. Here's another good book, Sun Tzu's Art of War for Traders and Investors by Dean Lundell. It's really a cool book. I don't know, Kirk, have you ever read this?
No.
Sun Tzu's Art of War? Oh, you got to get it. It's like $5 on eBay, right? It's an
Okay.
old book, but it's cool because they'll like show you two sides. They'll show you Sun Tzu's tactic on one side, and on the other side, they'll show how they're using it against you in the market. It's amazing. This is a fantastic book. So the auto
Hey,
Wow.
Ed,
trader, pardon me?
That's
hey,
good.
Ed,
It's a great book. And the last one, well, I wanted to just point out before I go into the trader, technical analysis from A to Z. Everybody's got to have that. I mean, if you're into technical indicators at all, it's I mean, in a nutshell, it'll show you all the technical indicators, each one, and it'll say if the value is this, it's bullish, if it's that, it's bearish. I mean, it's telling it, and that's what feeds the AI in my auto trader. The technical analysis rules right out of this technical analysis from A to Z. Go to
Hey Ed,
eBay and pick
do,
these up.
do you know who does not need any of those books?
Nobody needs any of this stuff. I already did it
If
all. I
if
know.
if you if
It's
you own
fun
an auto
reading though.
trader,
I love reading this stuff.
well,
All
the
right.
moral
I
of the
know you
story,
don't need any.
the moral of the
That's
story
true.
that you're talking about is that, and this is widely known, and we talk about it all the time. How much what percentage of the market is manipulated and automated? The answer is 100%. So anybody that goes in there and tries and believes that they can learn indicators and learn all the things from those books and implement it and outsmart or outthink millions of lines of code and automation and manipulation. You are walking into a casino. What happens when you walk into a casino because you see 10,000 of them is they're rigged against you. So the magic of your platform levels the playing field, right? Which is what you wanted to do, level the playing field for everybody so they didn't have to do that because, we always talk about, we're not trying to give people another job. They have a busy enough life to begin with. With an auto trader, it's like owning a 7-Eleven without all the pain in the neck and the inventory and the insurance and the people and all of that kind of stuff. It literally just automates free money.
Right.
yeah,
It's
one
the
of the
ultimate
best
savings
parts,
account.
Ed Barsano, the best visual you have, and I hope you share it now, is something called the bucket and the well. Now, folks, if you understand the concept of what Ed's about to show, you'll understand how the trader works. The concept behind the trader is so simple, and this helps explain that simplicity. Oh, perfect. There it is.
Yeah, here it
Great.
is.
Yep. Go
Well,
ahead, Ed.
here. All right. Just basically, here's how the market works. If you're a buy and holder the way most people are, millions of people, they load up on some shares and then they sit on it. And what they don't realize is the market's going up and down, but you're not making any money because the coin price went down and you bought it up here, so you're dead in the water. Whereas if you go to the right side, you can this is GoBabyTrade, constantly taking money forever. No matter where the prices go, we're just constantly pumping money. And I mean, I like to say constantly pumping money because that's what you're doing. As long as you never run out of money, and the software makes sure you don't because it calculates how many shares to buy at each while it's wiggling. Even though as opposed to a buy and holder on the left side who's underwater, millions of people right now. Actually, I venture to say that probably everybody that's loaded up on crypto over the last 5 years is underwater if they're just buying holders. These coins dropped 90%, over 90% over the last 5 years. You're underwater. If you bought Bitcoin anything over 78,000, you're underwater. Whereas with GoBabyTrade, you never run out of money because it allocates the funds and it says as soon as it buys, you've already won. It already says no matter where it goes now, I've got you because it's going to divide up your money so you never run out of money, and it's just going to keep pumping money on the wiggles, on the small moves. 3% moves up and down, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. Those profits are going to add up forever. Now, by default, your auto trader automatically throws all the saved profits into a bucket and doesn't touch it. So it's not even reinvesting it. It's literally sitting on that cash. Now you can tell it to invest it if you want. Some people say I want to use 50, let 50% of my profits go back into the trader to use it and let the other 50% sit on the sideline. I personally, I have a Coinbase Visa card. So I live off that card. It's like I call it the card that never the card that keeps on giving every time I pull it out of my wallet. It's like a free money because you just I don't care anymore about money because I'm just the auto trader's constantly making the money on by itself without me doing anything. It's just you're always taking money and it never ends. This is for the rest of your life. You've conquered the world really forever. Once you get it, it's a game changer. People are mortgaging their houses, cashing in their 401ks, paying the penalties. They don't even care. Getting credit cards. I actually put a video on the website, on GoBabyTrade's website that said don't do those things. The things I would not do, I tell people don't mortgage your house. I hate it. Because I hate it when, people call me and say, hey man, my loan's almost through. And I'm like, stop. You're mortgaging your house to throw it in the crypto market. I don't like it because I feel like those people are in too much of a rush. Take it easy, man. You don't have to freak out. You don't have to throw every dollar you have in the crypto market. Relax. Over
Hey, Ed,
time, you're going to make so much money that you don't have to gamble. You don't have to treat the market like it's gambling. But
Ed, this is
it's just never going to end. No matter where, I don't care if the coin drops 90%. I'm underwater on that open inventory up here. Like if the coin comes down here, and it has. And I'll show that to you. I call these lots, one lot, two lots, three lots, four lots. How many lots are you sitting on that are still open while you're down here at the bottom pumping money? Because the pumping money is the name of the game, is never
well,
stop
Ed, this
pumping money.
this is a great visual, but nothing beats looking at an actual trader. Do you think you could pull up one of your
I can do
traders?
it. I can do
Yep,
that too. I've got
fantastic.
all these tabs already opened up here, so
Oh,
we could
cool.
jump right to it. So here's what. Let me just show you what that means, though. The constant pumping money part of it first. Let me just go over here. Closed positions P&L right here. This is constantly pumping money. This is real money. It just keeps taking, and it just adds up forever. Whereas your open position, that's those open lots that I talked about that you're still sitting on. All right, I'm done. I'm down 2,200 on my open lots on that coin, but I'm up 4,300 in my closed profits. So I'm always ahead of the game. They can't because all they can do is go up and down. But this number here keeps going higher and higher and higher forever. It never goes down because we never sell at a loss. We never sell a position at a loss. And I know that sounds crazy, right? I don't believe in stop losses. As a matter of fact, my original robotic trader for stocks back in 2001, I automated the market and I created this indicator called lock-in loss. And then somebody called me, one of the clients, and he said, "What is this lock-in loss?" I said, "Well, that's if you bought it at a higher price and then the price went down and you want to lock in that loss." He said, "Isn't that a stop loss?" I didn't even know. I thought I invented the feature. I thought, oh, well, if you want to lock in the loss, here's a feature you could use. Um, and he said, oh, no, that's a stop loss. So I changed the name to stop loss. Internally in the database and inside the software, it's actually still called lock-in loss. It's the most illogical indicator ever. Would you even use an indicator called lock-in loss? That's the dumbest indicator in the world.
Hey, Ed,
So
do me a
anyways,
favor.
this numbers just add up forever.
Do me a favor, Ed. The light blue section in the left is kind of what I call or refer to as the dashboard. Can you go over each one of those so people know what
Sure.
each one of those things means?
It tells you if you're live trading or if you're paper trading up at the top. There are videos on every page if you want to listen to me yap. I yap on every page. Um, here's my account value. Today's profit. It's now today there's zero profit, but look at today's move over here, down here. This is logically there would be no profit because everything's negative. I mean, here's ABT is the only one that's not negative, and if I click on the plus next to it, if I can open that up and it shows I'm only up 2% on that one lot. Now I could close that lot if I want right now. Just all I have to do is just click close this lot and it'll actually just close it. But I'm not going to take that $9. I'm not going to Burger King today. I'm not going to take that.
If
You
you
know.
notice that ABT took a profit in the middle of the night.
Oh, I
When we
didn't even
say,
notice that.
so
I don't
when
even
we,
notice what my trader's doing unless
so,
I'm doing
oh, no,
a
no, it's an
limit
order
order.
canceled. Sorry.
No,
1:39 a.m.
no, it would have been a fake order. So, I mean, we put orders in. Now, see, the software submitted an order. Since I might as well explain what does that order cancel mean? First off, we hide everything. The auto trader hides everything it's doing. We're invisible to the market. There are no limit orders sitting out there in public view. So nobody can manipulate, nobody can play against us.
Wow,
Nobody can trade against us because
that's
we
big.
hide it all. We're
That's
invisible.
huge. That's huge.
Yeah, that is. I figured that one out all the way back in 2001 when I was sitting in a day trading house and they call it a prop house, and there's all these professional traders sitting around. And I bought some Microsoft, and I just said out loud, "Hey, how do I know when to sell this Microsoft that I just bought?" I just threw that out there to see who would bite, you know? And somebody comes walking up to my right shoulder here. He goes, "That's easy. You see that guy's order right there? We're looking at the limit orders, right? The level 2 screen." He said, "You see that guy's order right there? Sell it right under him." I couldn't believe it, man. I'm like, "Oh my God, I will never float a limit order in public view because I know they're gonna actually be using my own trades against me." And this L2 on the screen here, you can see that's what that is. This is the level 2 screen, the level 2 data. And it's full of a lot of fake orders. And right now, I don't see a lot of fake orders there, but let's click on another one. Let's go to Alchemy Pay. You know, like this $1.95 right here. That's a fake order. Nobody's trading for $1.95. They throw this little junk out there. What if I want to buy $1,000 worth of this coin? That one's not going to get me there. That $29 isn't going to get me there. The $371 isn't going to get me there. That $445 isn't going to get me there. I'm going to end up paying, you know, this price up here to buy that 1,000 shares. 6201, and when the best price is 618. See, they throw this stuff out there. The auto trader interrogates the level 2 screen. So the software actually knows what it's going to really pay for that trade if I was doing a buy. Now, in this case, on this close down here, this order canceled, the software submitted the order, a limit order, and said, "I want to sell this at this price." They wouldn't film me. So the auto trader said, "Forget it. I'll just cancel the order." Because they want to play games with the numbers. It's like, fine, I'll cancel it. I'm in no rush. I mean, I've got you trapped at the bottom. I've got the whole market trapped down there. They literally can't wiggle without giving me money. So I'm in no rush. So then
Hey,
this
Ed.
shows me the 30-day profits, which is really super low. That shows you a really slow month. I mean, this thing can take, you know, 4,000 in a month. And this 946 over the last 30 days tells me the market is not moving. And one thing though, I wrote a program today and I went and checked the prices of all these coins. And I said, what is the lowest price these coins have reached in the last few months versus where the price is today? Because a lot of people think that they're losing, right? They think the market's going down, the market's going down, the market's going down. And let me tell you something, the answer to that. The market's not going down, folks. It's not going down. It hasn't gone down for a few months. What you're seeing is the coins are jumping up. They'll jump it up 20%, and then you'll see a lot of down days. But it hasn't gone below where it was at just a few months ago. So it goes up fast, and then you see a lot of down days. It's wiggling, but it's still going lower, lower, but it's not going to a new low. So quit acting like you're losing your money. You know, so many millions of people out there are just selling their coins at a loss because they think things are going lower. They're not. Literally, none of these coins are going lower. I mean, I love it. I love it when I can see what's really going on in the market and I can see how the public is being manipulated and I
Yep.
see what they do. They'll
But the
push the price
magic,
up 20% and then they'll
yeah.
push them down for a lot of days.
So Ed, just on that pattern that you explained, is gold to somebody that owns an auto trader because you're not a buy and holder. As it begins to collect inventory, the lots that you talk about as the market goes down, all pre-programmed into the system. When it takes those jumps, then people are benefiting in the middle of the night where it's selling off the inventory. So when it goes up 20-30%, it sells the inventory off. When it begins to drop back down, it starts buying it back, and it just constantly, we often joke about the it shouldn't be called GoBabyTrade. It should be called the wiggle system, because that's
I
all it
know.
does is it wiggles and takes a profit.
Well, you can see what's been happening. Just looking lower on the lower right here, you can see all the buys where there's no price, and then the sells where the profits. And you can see, like just like from April 28th here, I'm just picked that arbitrarily, but you can start seeing. I mean, there, May 5th and 6th, a lot of closing positions.
Look at the time date stamps. Go back to that one screen and look at the time date stamps.
Well,
Nope,
10
a little bit
o'clock in the
lower,
morning,
a
I think I
little
was
bit,
just getting out of bed.
a little bit lower. You'll see a whole
9:14,
bunch
5
just goes.
a.m.
Yep, goes slightly down. Look, you've got 2 o'clock in the
2:15. Oh yeah,
morning,
1:49
3 o'clock in
in
the
the
morning.
morning. I
Right.
mean, it's running 24/7. This thing is just stalking the market like the ever-ready bunny rabbit. And we don't let the market breathe without paying us. There's no free ride, baby. You want to wiggle those prices, and if you want to have down days, fine. I'm right there with you. You want to go down, I'll load up on for a few days in a row. I don't care. Look at this. I mean, look at that gap right there in trade in just buying on the 15th, the 16th, and the 17th. They want to play that game with us. We're only adding on 1% drops. So it's like there's no big deal. I can add more shares on lower drops. And then when they bounce up 5%, sell it all off. I mean, let me show you what that
So
looks
Ed,
like on CoinMarketCap here real fast,
so
just in
Ed,
a nutshell. This is what it looks like. This is what the market's doing. Now, it's just, and this is what I love about the crypto market over the stock market. Because when I was doing, people asked me to automate the crypto market all the way back in around 2017, but I was really entrenched. I'm a programmer that keeps his head down, and I was concentrating on the stock market only. But then after I rewrote the software to go from downloadable software where you download it onto your computer, but then I got to support your whole computer in that case. If you can't get to the internet, you can't run my software. So I hated that. So I did that for 18, 19 years, and then I sold that company off and I rewrote the software to be web-based, meaning the software now runs on my servers. I've got racks of servers. I look like AT&T at the co-location center. I got a big cage with all those racks full of servers that are running auto traders all over the world. And because it's running on my servers, you don't have to worry about your computer. As long as you can get to the internet from anywhere, from your cell phone or from your PC, anything, is you can get to a browser, you can get to your auto trader. And as soon as when I rewrote that software, so when I released the software in April of 21, as Attila said, as soon as I turned that on, I said, "Oh my God, this is what I was looking at." I said, "Oh man, I am so done with stocks, man. Stock prices move like this, like waves. Cryptos jump around, man." I'm like, "This is free money if I ever saw it." I mean, this is what a joke. I mean, see how irreverent I am when it comes to the crypto market? It's a joke. It's free money everywhere you look because the prices are just jumping. They jump straight up. I mean, I've had coins jump up 250%, boom, in one day, and then you sell off all that, like anything you bought below this price here, that in here you already would have sold off. On any of these peaks you see here, anything below that to the left, you would have sold off. So you're just constantly, it's just taking all this free money. I mean, I call it an insult to humanity, seriously.
Ed, can we go back to the trader again? Because there's a couple
Sure.
things you didn't finish up on that are real important on the left side. Can you cover the total profits and explain what you started this trader with?
I'm not even sure what I started this one with. I think 20,000, or you can add it up almost. You can see all the profits right here. They add up to this.
Okay,
It's
so
taking
that was on
31,000.
410 of 24. So you've had this for just under 14 months. And this thing's pulled in 30, just under 32,000 for you.
In a straight down market. That's the beauty
Yeah,
of it. So everybody
man.
thinks this whole market going down was bad. And now that's another, that's another one of those things where you're dealing with a public that doesn't seem to be seeing things the way I'm seeing it. I mean, think about it right now. How many of you would love to buy Nvidia at 30 cents a share? You'd be all over it if it went down there. But yet, when it's going down there, everybody's crying. It's going down. It's going down. I'm like, down is good, man. Down is great. I don't know what people are looking at. Everybody wants everything to go to the moon. I mean, do you take houses for instance? And I'm making this stuff up on the fly. You know that, right? But take houses. Where is a young person now going to be able to get $2 million to buy a house for crying out loud? I mean, that's awful, man. House prices went way too high. That's no fun. I mean, you could turn inventory on houses if things should be a lot lower. Everything is better when it's lower because you're just constantly just pumping money. That's all you care about. I don't want everything to run to the moon right away. Hey, how about you guys aren't even on board yet? Aren't you happy everything's low? That's beautiful to be able to get in at rock bottom. Isn't that's like a gift from God to be able to get in at the bottom? I mean, I'd like to buy Microsoft at 30 cents a share or even $30 a share. I don't like them at $400 a share. Even though I'm retired from
Yeah, Ed,
Microsoft, I have no loyalty to the stock.
Ed, do me a favor. Do me a favor. Go to the main website link, like the link that Kirk has, for example, or just GoBabyTrade.com. I want to show a couple
Oh,
things
here.
to. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, folks, one thing you need to know is, and we love this, you could do so much research even before you do any kind of pulling the trigger and buying this trader. Because up top, you see those categories, videos, top traders, trade counts, sample trader. That sample trader is a real trader. You could click on that and watch what this thing does every single day. You could go to the videos and you could watch 17 videos of Ed Barsano explaining every aspect. Here is the sample trader coming up with the
But this
activity.
one's been running from the beginning.
This one's been running almost 5 years.
And so it bought
Yeah.
some of the coins at really high prices, and then they came down a real lot over the last couple months. But I say these coins are in play, baby. GRT's in play. I mean, GRT and Alchemy Pay. I mean, Alchemy Pay, ACH. That's like Apple Pay worldwide. Actually, I
All
was
right.
telling people that for the last 5 years, and then a couple months ago they partnered with Apple Pay. So,
So
which
Ed,
is way cool.
go back to the main screen again, because there's a couple important things we need to explain to everybody. First of
Yeah,
all,
The
this
and yeah.
the main
So
Go Baby Trade website.
no, no,
the
no.
main Go
Kurt,
Baby
Kurt's
Trade.
link.
Oh,
Yep.
Kirk's link, yeah.
Right.
So here's the
Which by the
thing.
way, sorry, Attila, I just put Kirk's special discount link in the chat, so everybody can click on it and follow along. Or
So yeah, so
You
this
want to
is
use that link to get the $1,000 discount
Yeah,
if you
so
use
here's the
Kurt's
deal.
link.
It's a 3-year license. It's the normal retail price is $44.99 for 3 years. Now, Kirk negotiated $1,000 discount with Ed Barsano for his audience, which Ed approved, $34.99 for 3 years. That's basically $97 a month to be able to automate a portion of your financial life, make money in your sleep. Now, it is totally market dependent. So somebody has already asked, what kind of daily returns can I expect? That's an impossible question to answer because we don't know every day what the
Well,
market is
there's
going
no
to show.
daily return today because everything is down. I mean,
Yeah,
today's move is negative. The market's down. You'll
right.
you'll
So,
you'll have sales on up days, and on down
right.
days you'll be accumulating more.
Yeah.
Like
Show
today,
today.
it bought more
Okay, so
GRT.
let's talk about that. Let's talk about that for a minute because remember I said early on in the conversation. I said, look, it may not take a profit every single day, but that doesn't mean it's not working. Well, look at what happened today. It was working to buy two additional positions, one at 9:40 a.m. and one at 4:02 a.m. I'm sorry, 9:40 p.m. So it's still doing what it's supposed to do. So it goes up 3%, or in this case, I think your trader is set for a 5% profit. Okay, it takes
Right.
the profit off the table for you. If it goes down 3%, it buys more at a discount. That's basically how it works. Now the AI will kick in. Maybe
Well,
if we,
AI. Should we talk about AI?
well, let me just explain it real quick, and then we got to get to the Q&A because there's a lot of people that have questions. But
Oh,
basically,
okay.
the way the AI works is, let's say it's ready to take the profit of, let's say, 3%. If the AI sees a 95% probability that it's going to keep going up, it says, don't take that profit yet. In the
Wait,
next 20, 25 or 30 minutes, I see more than a 95% probability it's going to keep going north. It holds off, and that profit may be 6% or 9%, or who knows, 12%. Same thing conversely on the way down. It goes down 3%, it's going to buy more for you. That's the inventory, unless the AI sees a 95% probability it's going to keep going down. Then it'll hold off and you could buy it cheaper and lower. That's it.
right.
That's the AI.
So,
Okay.
so the AI in a nutshell, the auto trader is the star of the dish. For those of you who
Yes,
watch cooking shows, the auto trader determines when to do it because the auto trader is doing the money management and the risk
that's right.
management. So only
Bingo.
when the auto trader says, I'm ready to buy or I'm ready to sell based on profit goals, then it'll call the AI for confirmation and say, what do you think, AI? And the AI actually is four separate servers on the sideline doing the AI stuff because that's too you don't need that inside your auto trader. It's like two-factor authentication. The AI is constantly throwing out numbers. The auto trader is ignoring them until it needs them, until it's ready to say, do I want to buy or do I want to sell at this given instant in time? And
Right.
you'll see that AI at the end of the reason for the trade if AI got involved in that trade.
Right.
And
Hey,
sometimes
Ed.
it'll say you'll see it profit, and somebody will send me email and say, "Well, how come my auto trader's not taking profit?" And it'll say right here if you click on the plus next to a symbol, you can expand it right above this message here, next estimated declining price, because it knows when it's going to buy and sell more. It'll say AI blocking trade. It'll actually tell you the AI is blocking that trade right now.
Hmm,
And
very
the
cool.
AI
Ed.
is almost 100% accurate, so you don't want to you want to follow the AI. That's the whole purpose of auto traders.
Okay. Do me a favor, Ed, and go back to the GoBabyTrade.com website, because a question that's already come up, and I want you to be really, really brief on this. But people are asking already, how much money do I need to have to start the trader? Not everybody's going to start with 25K like Kirk did. Okay. There's a great screen you have that shows the
Right
top
here, top
50
traders.
traders with it's all over the map as far as how much people have started with. So
Oh
please,
yeah. No,
please
here.
keep
So if
this
you click
short
on
and
top
sweet.
traders on the website, it'll actually come up with this page. And
There you go.
it shows you how much one this is a 1 year report. You can't look at daily and weekly, that kind of stuff, because the market's all over the place. That's But you can look at what did it start, what did he have a year ago, and how much profit did he actually take off the table, physical profits. I mean, this guy started with 10,000, 10,200. He actually took 29,000. These are live traders, these are actual users, because all this data came right out of the database. And it could see how much profits he took. Tell me Warren Buffett wouldn't be all over me if he ever saw this, compared to the money he makes. I mean, he makes a lot of money, billions, because he's got billions. But how about if he actually knew he could get returns like this, he would not be a buy and holder. This guy started with 8,800 and took 21,000 in profits. I mean, that's 245% return. This guy started with 269,000 and took 607,000 in profits. It's all about profits taken off the table. What you do with your profits after it comes off the table and you've got those profits in your hand is on you. If you want to throw it away, go ahead. If you want to hand it to people on the street, that, you know, a lot of people are lucky to give somebody $5 on the street. How about giving them 1,000? Why not? You know, but people don't do that, right?
You have that
But if you
option.
have a stop losses in your, you know, if you're using stop losses, which we don't use, right? We don't even let you use a stop loss in the trader. But I mean, people use stop losses. It's like I always say, if you're willing to throw away money like that, why aren't you just handing it to people on the street? How about just toss it out of the car window while you're driving? $100 bills.
So
You know, if
everyone
you're
can see
willing to
it's all
throw
over the
money
map.
away like that, because the auto trader's making money like crazy, you know, so, anyways, you can look and see. Now, I got rid of the big money on here, all right? I used to show the traders because we have traders with millions of dollars in their accounts and running multiple auto traders. Once you get it, you'll be the same way. I'll tell you that you will. Once you see this thing taking profits, you're going to go, all right, where can I find more money to put in it? Because the more it has, the more it makes. And I mean, 100% of a million is different than 100% of 1,000. But you know, you can see this guy only started with $1,000, you know, and he
Hey Ed,
made almost 2,000.
Yep.
On that subject, I started with
Yes,
25,000. I'm ramping it to 100,000 within a couple weeks. I added another
nice,
25,000 a couple days ago. Uh,
nice.
yeah, but it just sits in cash at USD. The system knows now that it has more money to allocate.
Yes.
Yes,
You don't have to tell it anything. It knows when you add money.
no, just put it.
Okay.
I recommend you put it in USDC.
Yeah, but
Move it
he's
to
using
USDC.
Kraken. He's using Kraken.
Oh, you're at Kraken? Oh, if you're
Yeah.
at Kraken, you have to use USD. But if you're at Coinbase, you could use USDC and
Oh.
get almost 4% interest on the
While
money
it's
that's
sitting
sitting
there.
on the standing cash.
Oh.
We won't put you all in.
You mean by staking USD?
No, it
No.
gives you automatically. It pays you on your
Oh,
stable coin. Yeah.
that's interesting.
No. Yeah. Okay, so Ed, that is a great foundation for everybody this evening. I want to get to some of the questions because when we hear the questions, sometimes we end up going back in the trader to answer the questions. So
Okay.
are you going to leave your jacket on or are you going to take your jacket off tonight?
Well, it depends. If they make me feel like one of those talking heads on TV, I'm going to take my jacket off because I don't like to look like those guys because they never tell you anything. You guys ever watch CNBC? Do they ever tell you anything that'll help you make a dime? I mean, you know, I don't want to hear why this and why that. You know, show me how to make real money. This auto trader does it automatically.
Mhm. All right. Attila, I'm experiencing technical issues on my side. It keeps popping in and
Okay.
out, but right now I'm good. You mind if
I'm
I
taking my
address?
coat off so I don't look like a talking head on TV.
That's right. I'll let you know if my screen disappears, which it has been.
Sure.
But you mind if I address James'
Sure. Go
question
ahead.
about how does your auto trader compare with competitors trading bots, and what companies do you compete with? Thank you in advance. So I'm gonna answer that because all of us here, obviously, Mr. Barsano, who created it, is a product of the product. But the other three panelists, myself, Kirk, and Attila, are products of the products. And I can tell you, and I think I addressed, maybe it was Jane, but somebody asked a similar question
Yes, it was.
in the chat, and I answered it. So the answer is unequivocally there are no competitors because conquering the market, what Attila has created is not a bot, not a guesswork. It's 25 years of refined.
What Attila has created?
Sorry. Yes.
I
All
was,
right.
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that.
What Ed
I let it
Barsano
go.
has created. Sorry. What Ed Barsano has created
I
is
know
a.
we look alike.
I know, like brothers. What you've created, what Ed Barsano has created, is a automated trading and money management platform. The reason why there are no competitors, one, the statement starts with everybody said when Ed Barsano said I'm going to conquer the stock market, and then fast forward to the crypto market, everybody said it's impossible. You will never be able to do that. So all the way back to his Microsoft days, he wasn't in charge of improving products. He was in charge of creating things that were said to be impossible. You now see the product of of that work. So there are no competitors. Another reason why is this is once it connects to directly to your securely by API. We talked earlier in the conversation about the secure safety and security of your money. It connects directly to your exchange, and it only has the authority, meaning the system, only has the authority to send buy and sell orders, period. Unless it sees manipulation. You saw that earlier when it canceled an order. It interrogates the level 2 screen. There isn't any bot or any other system out there that treats the data at that level. And there is no other system out there that trades 100% on your behalf. Meaning, once you connect it and fund your account, Kurt just spoke about it. It literally, and I'm sure it's only been a week or maybe not even that long. I'm sure that it's his business, but Kurt can attest to the fact that it's taken profits in his sleep. There are no competitors.
Edward, you forgot to add in the very important thing about the clean data it's been collecting for
yes.
25 years.
So everybody talks about, okay, let me address that through the lens of security. People go, well, what happens if GoBabyTrade's hacked? Well, it's unhackable because it's an intranet. It doesn't rely on a connection to the outside world, right? The clean
we don't
data
have access
part
to your money anyways. I don't have access to anything. All the auto trader can do is send buy and sell orders.
Right, but nobody can even get into your trading account, your GoBabyTrade trading account, because there's no entry point. So, to Attila's point, the data is clean, meaning everything that you saw, and you've not seen what I call the $1 billion report, because people ask, how do I know how to pick coins? So we'll address that. I think it's come up in a question, but the data is clean because all of the data comes from the other trading GoBaby traders out there. So it's all of the individual traders feeding what I call the mothership, or for your Star Trekky guy or gal, I call it the Borg. All of the traders in the marketplace are feeding mothership, and none of the data comes from ChatGPT, OpenAI. It all comes from within the system. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Can I answer that question also?
No, you only created it. Right.
Especially when you're talking about competitors. I never had any competitors for years and years and years when I was only doing the stock market. There were no competitors, zero. There were no bots. They didn't exist. I was always looking over my shoulders. Where are the competitors? Because I knew my software was getting better and better and better and better over the years. I was getting so much feedback from the clients they were sharing with me. I knew what worked. I could see what worked and what didn't work. And I could slowly get rid of all the stuff that didn't work. My original traders had 10 screens of settings that you could set. Now I have one screen of settings, the edit strategy page, one screen. Those 10 screens, I call them 10 screens of ways to blow yourself up. I watch people destroying themselves, with all these thousands or the hundreds of settings that were there. And I was like, stop the gambling, man. What are you doing? And that's basically, if you think about competitors. First off, you have to know how to make money in the market. Otherwise, you're going to automate a strategy that automatically loses. So what are all these bots that came out of the woodwork in the last 2 or 3 years? And they're all saying AI this and AI that. I've been programming AI since 1989, since my Microsoft days. I know how to do AI like the back of my hand. And I know these guys aren't even using it right. Where are they even getting their data, for one? The auto traders over the last 25 years have been feeding the AI data. I mean, I've got terabits of data. That's why the AI runs on 4 separate servers. There's too much data for even the auto traders don't need to look at all that. The auto traders are looking at today, what's going on, and placing the orders, whereas the AI is looking at terabytes of data. Think of patterns. Let me explain how AI works. AI is a learning system. AI can't tell you what 1 + 1 is when you first turn it on. It's got to see the pattern. It's got to see it. My AI is so accurate because it's seen millions of patterns all the way from 2001 to now. So
Amen.
it's seen the patterns, whereas these new bots coming out, what are they? What have they seen the patterns from 2006, 2007, 2010? They haven't. So I don't even know how can their AI know anything? It's like a 25-year-old competing with a 2-year-old. They don't have a prayer.
Yep.
I mean, I have
Well
no
said.
competitors. I'm telling you that. There are no competitors. They're all going to give you
Well said.
screens and tell you to create a strategy. And so when you lose your money, you can blame yourself. That's
Okay.
what they do. I give you auto traders right out of the box that crank out money on right out of the gate without you having to do anything.
Amen. Ed, we got to move on. That's a great answer. A 25-year-old comparing with a 2-year-old. That's right, dead on.
Who's going to
Okay.
win that race? So I'll
No,
pick up Jane's next question, and I think I answered it in but we'll answer it again. Do you take fees out when someone takes profits? Only if you want to send us donations. No, your profits are your profits.
Yeah.
Everything. There are no other fees. There's no smoke and
Not only
mirrors.
that,
It's
but the profit you see on the screen, this whole $31,000, that's after fees, after the broker's fees, after the
great
Coinbase
point.
and
Great
Kraken's
point.
fees. So if your profit goal is 3%, the software knows how much you're going to pay in fees for the trade when you go to close it. So the
but
software
not to
can
the
actually
trader.
add
Not
those
not
fees to the goal, to the profit goal. So instead of going for 3%, it might go for 3.5% to make sure the fee is covered. Plus, it trades through on Coinbase, it trades through active trade, which
yeah,
means it's reduced trading fees.
Right.
right.
Advanced,
Oh,
right? Yeah, so
advanced
they're
trade. I'm
right,
sorry.
they're net fees. So some gentleman is asking a question. I don't know who it is, Kirk Carmichael. So just kidding. Yeah, Kirk, let's open the mic to you and then we'll jump back into the Q&A.
Oh,
And
yeah,
if you would, um my apologies, Kirk. A lot of people are putting questions into the chat. Some of them may get lost. We want to answer everything, so if you would please copy your question and put it in the Q&A. That way, we've got one place to look because the chat's scrolling, and we don't want to lose track of you. Every question is super good and super important. So, Kirk, go ahead.
well, where is the queue? I mean, how do you put
So down the bottom, you should have
It's under, yeah.
you should have a little menu that
yeah,
has all the way on the left audio. So if you click
yeah.
on
Uh,
more with the little three dots, you're
Oh,
going to
the
see a
more is
little
on the
Q&A
right.
section. On the right.
Oh, there it is. It's Q. It's like
Right.
the second option on the Q
Yeah,
in the more.
they Zoom
yeah,
changed it and hid it, so it's a little hard to find.
yeah,
So
I
if you
know.
can't
But
find it,
once you pull that up, where do you put the question though?
Oh,
Under Q&A.
yep,
Yeah,
I don't see it.
yep. Once you hit the more, my screen just blanked. So once you
Edward,
hit more, you're going
my
to see.
screen, let me just say on my screen, I do see a more, but now the Q&A is actually a separate category again in the bottom in the menu.
That's because if
Oh,
there's
is it another
somebody
one?
in the beginning before somebody puts a question in, it's always going to be buried under that more. As soon as somebody puts the first question in, it actually adds the Q&A to that bottom
Uh,
menu. So when you
uh,
click on Q&A, you can just start typing. You can just start typing at the bottom.
No, I don't. I can't do it. I see what Kirk's saying. I
yeah.
don't see how
I
to type
can't.
it.
I don't see a way to type a question, but some people are putting it in there.
They're in there. I don't know how people are doing it.
So here's something I left out. I apologize, Kirk. The audience attendees see where you can actually put the Q&A. The panelists can't see it because the panelists aren't asking the questions.
Oh, okay, got
Oh,
it. Okay,
all right.
okay. All right. Well, look, I didn't want to skip anybody because I could take my turn, but I had a strategy question,
Mm-hmm.
Ed, and you know this,
Sure.
Ed, because you told this to Attila, and I'm glad I can ask you directly, because I don't mind whatever the best, more productive long-term strategy. I'm all for it. Attila said that recently, Ed, you said for them it might be better to put your take profits at a 5% gain and not 3%. I did that for a few days. When I met with him again, Attila said, "Hey, you know what? Why don't you start at the 3%? Like we said, I said, okay, whatever. So now I'm asking you, what do you think?
Mhm. All right, 3% is fine. What happens is over the years, when I change my strategy, I know a lot of people like to do what I'm doing. So I send email to all the users and say, hey man, I'm changing my strategy. I'm changing like my profit goal. I used to have it at 2% for a few years, and then just before the election a couple of years ago, I raised it to 3. And I told everybody why and all that, and then a lot of people will go ahead and change theirs to 3. Now recently I sent email and sent it out to everybody and said, hey, you know what? I'm changing mine to 5. And the reason I changed it to 5, now 3 is okay too. It's okay for you to do that if you want to see faster turnarounds. But my feeling is they push these coins down over 90%. I hate to show my true nature, but I want to punish them a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to give away my shares for 3%. If you know what? You're gonna give me at least 5 before I give you back the shares that I bought at this record low prices. I
I
call them
see.
insultingly low prices. So that's the reason. A lot of people have left it at 3. 3 or 5 is good. If you want to
I
see
see.
quicker turnaround, maybe you can leave it at 3. But
So 3% or 2, a lower percent would be if you think it's going to be bouncing, but it might just shoot in one night and you're out.
It'll no, but it'll still do it. I mean, if remember the AI is in there, the coin can jump 100%. I've had coins jump 50% in 5 minutes, in like instantly, and then 5 minutes later come right back down. And if it jumps up like that, the software is going to take the 50% profit. It's not going to take 2 or 3%.
Oh, it will know how quick it's moving and not sell it.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
that's
yes, by
brilliant,
all
dude.
means.
That's
There's a
brilliant.
lot of code in there. This is 3 million lines of code,
Oh,
and
dude,
I
that's
live and breathe. I've been doing this like full time for 25 years. That's why when I look at that chart he had of the 3 categories, I'm like,
yeah.
I'm retired, but I live in that middle category. I'm having a
So
ball. I
Attila,
love
I don't mind
programming.
waiting. I'm going to move it back to the 5% because he told me Attila. So
Yeah, that's cool.
You-
No, really.
your call, buddy. No, Ed, I asked you, remember when you made the change and I said, what about if somebody is just starting off with the
All right.
trader? Should they make those changes? And
I
you
may have
said
been
no.
answering for a
Yeah,
different reason. The
yeah.
reason I might have said it is because I know when people first sign up, they're eager to see profits. They want to see it quickly turn the inventory. And I'm like, yeah, but it's not that. Don't be in a big rush like that. Don't worry. Because look, this is a fake market if you ever saw one. All these downs, this is beautiful. And why would I'm in load up, baby? You can't own that's all I can say is you don't own enough crypto. Everybody who doesn't have an auto trader, I'm gonna go on a rant here, is number one, you're not building inventory like you should be because the auto trader takes time. Remember when I was talking about those lots? 18 lots, 21 lots,
A
24
lot
lots.
is
That's
a lot is a
underwater. And I'm
position.
like, you can't have enough inventory. And every day that you don't have an auto trader, not only are you not building inventory that's really going to pay off so good when this market really starts moving again. The other thing is you're not taking profits. They're throwing money at you almost every day and you're not taking it because you don't have an auto trader.
Cash flow is king.
Cash flow is king.
Thank you, Ed.
And
We
and
got to
I've
get
heard
back
it
to,
so many times over the years. People tell me, I saw your auto trader 2 years ago or 6 months ago, and I finally just signed up. And man, I wish I would have signed up when I first saw it. It's like, and everybody's the same.
Everybody
You
says
you
that.
all think you're the same, but you are the same. You're going to be the same. What do you say, Attila? You're going to want to kick yourself in the butt six
yeah,
months from now?
you're gonna go buy a butt kicking machine if you don't
Yeah,
buy it sooner
because
than
it's
later.
when this market takes off, I mean, it's all a game. And I'm going to tell you when it's going to take off. I have a theory. Want to hear what my theory is? They're what's it called? The Clarity
Clarity
Act
Act.
is
Yep.
sitting in the Senate waiting for them to sign it. What do you think? Why do you think they're holding these coins down like this? Giving the senators a chance to load up.
What are you saying? Manipulation? Are you kidding me? That
Yeah,
can't
that's the
happen.
way it works. They're letting these guys load up because once they all have their enough to make their 20 million,
Okay,
Then
And
they'll vote for the Clarity Act, and that's basically what we're waiting for. And I think it's
Ed, I got to
close.
interrupt you because we got more questions coming in as we speak. Can I move on, Kirk?
I love a good
Oh,
Q&A.
Please go
okay.
on.
Okay, so let me ask before Melissa, we're going to get to your two questions, but I asked Ed A to put his question from the chat to the Q&A, and he did. So thank you for that. Ed, this is for you, Ed Barsano. He says Ed A is asking no stop loss, three
Ed
question
A
marks.
is asking Ed B.
Right. No,
I'm
he
kidding.
says no stop loss with three question marks. What would have
No
happened?
way.
Hold on, hold on. He says, what would have happened to account if trading crude oil when it went a long way below zero?
I don't know anything about crude oil.
So tell
Sorry.
him why you don't use a stop loss.
Or leverage.
Why? I don't use, well, because first off, everybody that loses, when the market, the only people that, who gets rich in a market crash?
The
No
The
people
one.
ones
buying
that
at the
loaded up
bottom.
at the bottom, the
Yeah.
ones that are buying, not the ones that are selling. I got hammered in the 2000 market crash. And because I was margining and I had stop losses, the two things that killed me. 60% of my wealth vaporized. Since then, none of my users, even when I was allowing margin to be used, weren't even using the margin. So we all quit it. Everybody that was running my original auto trader for all those years got rich. Look where the stock market went. They were all loading up. We were never selling at a loss. Never. I mean, if you want to go to this, never selling at a loss. Hold those losers. Because when that coin, every time when it runs, and these coins take turns, they'll go up 50%, 100%, 150% in a day. When it goes up like that, all that inventory you had under here sold off. We can go to coin market cap. Any inventory you bought down here, you just sold it all off on the bounces. You buy it here and you sell it there. You buy it down here and you sell it there. Buy it here, sell it there. Anything you're buying, you're just selling off. I'm not worried about this little down here because first off, there's trading going on in there, the buys and the sells. But as soon as we get a bounce, it'll sell it all off. As soon as it
Right.
jumps up, it's the same thing as anything over here. I've had people tell me when the price is down here, call me and say, Ed, do you think I should stop my auto trader from buying more? Because, the price is so low. I'm like, no. The biggest money you're going to make is what you're buying at the bottom. Because look what
Yep.
happens when it jumps and you sell all that inventory off. Anything you were in down here sold off on that jump right there.
So you just,
If you
yeah,
didn't
Down
Ed,
is
already
good.
sell it.
Ed, you just
Down
hit
is
on,
good.
you hit on the one thing. If you had to pick one thing that makes this trader invaluable, the one word is emotion. Everybody that manually trades loses their fill in the blank because emotion. Just like you said, hey, it's dropping so low. Do you think I should stop trading it? The answer is no. You can't outthink more than 3 million lines of code. Try,
And
but,
So
but,
then,
but
how many of these dips you see here, these bottoms, do you see where stop losses might have kicked in and just sold you off at a loss,
all of
and
them.
then the coin just goes right back up? I mean,
okay,
look at this.
Ed, we
No,
got nine.
absolutely, I don't use stop losses. I would never do that.
Yep.
I highly
Thank you.
don't recommend nobody use stop losses.
All right. Next
I
question,
know they teach
Melissa.
that in the trading schools. It's too bad.
I'm going to have two questions here from Melissa. First one I can answer, real simple. How many accounts can the GoBabyTrade trade? As I have a Kraken account and a Roth and Gemini. One license connects to one exchange. So if you want to trade, it's either Kraken or Coinbase. This does not connect to Gemini. Okay, so you could, and also a common question is, can a GoBabyTrade cryptocurrency trader also trade stocks? No, the stock trader is a separate license. But the good news is you still are privy to the $1,000 discount if you want to also have a stock trader, a GoBabyTrade stock trader. Okay,
Or a
so
second
Melissa,
crypto account. You would still, it
right.
takes, Each auto trader can only trade one account.
Now, this is for Ed Barsano and Kirk probably. This is from Melissa also, would love to hear tax info with a UNA as every trade is taxed in crypto.
Nope.
Edward?
I don't have an answer I'm not sure about how UNA works.
So Kirk can address that.
Oh, well, I mean, guys, look, it's really simple. It doesn't matter if it's stock trade that you made or lose. It doesn't matter, make or lose. When you sell anything, stocks, crypto, a house, it doesn't matter if you sell a house at a loss either. Whatever you're selling, it gets reported to the IRS. These are United States-based companies. They are going to report whoever social security number is attached to that account. And fortunately, if you because we can you can do a UNA on either exchange. Once you set the UNA up on the Kraken or Coinbase, it's an exempt tax identification number, and it's not tied to your social, so it'll get reported. It's not going to get reported to you, your social,
Right,
and the association's not filing a tax return. But
right.
that does theoretically work for you as well, those that have done a revocation election. But it's even better to have it in a UNA, not even tracked to you. So that's the quick answer.
Perfect.
Not a CISO Lara is asking, great name. Is there an option to trade both? If so, would that be recommended? I think when you said trade both, you're meaning stocks and crypto. If that's not what you mean, please put it in the ask another question another way, but I think that's what you mean. We just covered that. It's a separate license for
Yeah,
each.
here you have the crypto license, and then you can switch to stocks if you wanted to buy a stock trader license,
Right.
that
Right.
trade stocks.
And by the way,
So, but they're separate.
when you buy either, it automatically goes into paper trading. If someone wants to allow the trader to paper trade or simulate for a 1 week or 2 weeks, I think it's silly because it works. We know it works. It's been working 26 years. But what I'm saying is when you're in simulation or paper trading, the trader doesn't know that. It's making you the same results, the same profits as if you were live, which is pretty cool.
Right.
Okay, next question, Edward. You want to grab it?
It
Uh,
only knows it's paper trading at execute time when it
Right.
says it's time to submit this order.
right. I'll knock out. I believe it's okay. You're taking care of that one because it does not operate on
Yes.
CoinZoom,
Yes.
and I apologize. As soon as you did that, my screen disappeared.
I
So
got it.
you're gonna
I
have to
got
take
it.
the next question.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
back.
So,
Tina, go ahead.
Tina says some say only ISO 222 compliant coins should be bought and all others will not work in the new financial system. What say you? I think that's silly. There's plenty of utility coins that are around and AI coins that are going to work wonderfully for the future. I mean, I own a lot of projects and it's much more than just the ISO 20022 compliant coins. So that's my take. I mean, Near, I love Near. That project is a solid AI crypto project. BitTensor, I love that project. Link, that's not an ISO 20022. Link is a major, what do you call it? It connects the TradFi with the DeFi systems.
I don't
It'll,
even believe in any of that stuff. It's all people are just saying stuff like that.
we just
These
need
coins aren't
volatility.
going anywhere. Black
Yep.
Coinbase has vetted the coins. 5 years ago, they only had about 35 coins we could trade. Now they're up to about 500. They vetted the coins already. They're not putting garbage in here. The coins we trade, these are all fantastic coins that just keep pumping out money. See, again, all I care about, if I'm running a 7-Eleven, what am I putting on my shelf? Stuff that turns inventory. I don't care if I don't smoke vapes. If it turns inventory in my 7-Eleven, I'm going to sell it. I don't, you're not going to find this in a 7-Eleven.
Iodine.
Iodine.
Unless you're a buy and holder, then you're gonna
Nobody's
need
gonna
that and
buy.
Band-Aids.
No 7-Eleven's gonna sell iodine in their store because nobody's gonna buy it. We actually have a report. You mind if I show this highest trade count report? This is the
Yeah, but
coolest
please
report.
keep it brief. Keep it
I'll
brief,
try
Ed,
to
because we
keep it
got a lot of
brief. I'll try to
questions.
keep
Yeah,
it brief. If
yeah.
this was a 7-Eleven and you meet when you're setting up your 7-Eleven for the first time, and you're going to meet with the what are they called?
Wholesaler.
The wholesaler, right? And because you're not going to call every one of the vendors for every product, you're going to deal with a wholesaler, and and he's going to show you a report of what turns out, which ones give you the most money, the most trade. See this previous year's trade count. These are the ones at the top that give you the most. And if you go further down the list, this is a report that's generated once a month. You can see the numbers start getting smaller and smaller for the ones that move. They don't move as much. Now, if iodine was on this list, it would be very much probably at the bottom of the report. Nobody's going to go in and buy iodine. So, like this one is 201. If I look for Bitcoin, let me show you something. You're going to be surprised. Bitcoin's on line 484, 175 trades in a year. It doesn't move enough. I
Yeah.
call it a junk coin. I know,
So
I know you don't want to hear that. I knew
So
it.
Ed
But it
qualified the
doesn't move
report.
enough. I would not put that product in my 7-Eleven. I want stuff
Not
that
for
turns
trading.
inventory,
That's
man.
Not for trading.
interesting. Very
So,
interesting.
so Ed qualified this report in the
I
fact
knew
that
I was
let's
going
go.
to get a lot of people go, ah.
Jane made a comment about her thought of Bitcoin, but do me a favor, if you would allow me to qualify this report. This is a monthly report that shows a year back of the volatility. In its default structure, it shows you the most volatile coins. Why is that important? Because you're looking at a trader that takes advantage of the smallest moves in the market. Now, this report is defaulted to set at a 3% price move. Let me go all the way back to say that we've already told you that the trader never ever sells at a loss unless you manually tell it to sell at a loss. Why is it important? Because this report is based on a minimum 3% profit. Now, we talked about when things spike, they go up 20%, 30%, 150%. This report is a minimum 3% at a profit of never selling at a loss. What is that? That means it shows you automatically, because we get a lot of people, and this, by the way, a year ago, this report didn't exist. And people were always asking, well, how do I know which coins to trade? How much money do I need to start with? We covered that. The system comes defaulted with a suggestion of 3 of the most volatile coins by default, but you don't have to choose those. You can use this report to do your own research, or what do you call it, Attila? DYOR, do your own research.
DYOR,
right?
do your own research.
Right.
Yep.
So this allows you 100% control, gives you suggestions. You see that what Ed just clicked on was percentage of traders. If you look at the percentage of traders, it actually shows you what percentage of GoBabyTrade license owners are trading in those particular coins, which is also
You
an
can't see
indicator.
that on the website, though. You'd have to have an account. On the internal report, under your menu in your auto trader, if you bring up the highest trade count report, you can see it on this report. I don't show that on the website for people who don't have an account. They don't need to know what percent of GoBabyTrade clients are in each coin.
Right.
So that one column's not there for the public.
Okay.
If they
Okay.
don't already have a GoBabyTrade account.
Attila, you're
But
going to
all
have to
these
take.
top moving coins here, all these top moving coins, I mean,
Okay.
they just kill it. We just keep taking all this money. I call it free money.
Yep.
Let me go back to the questions, Ed, because we're actually accumulating more questions as we go on. So
And guys, we're going to do this every Monday night. Okay.
Yeah.
If somebody has to drop off and you're barely staying awake, you're on the East Coast, come next Monday.
And it's being recorded. It's being recorded, so you'll get a copy of it.
Okay. So also, Edward is about to put our emails into the chat because if you have a question that's not answered tonight, you could email us directly. If you buy the trader and the license and you want help or need help going from connecting your API connection, which is very, very, very simple, to your Coinbase or Kraken, but you need help, we're there to help you. We'll do a Zoom. So that's why I said earlier, we are the support mechanism on behalf of Kirk's audience as it pertains to GoBaby. Jeffrey is asking, can we start using a Coinbase personal account and later change you to a Coinbase UNA account once it's set up without an additional fee? Yes, there's no fee charged by GoBabyTrade for anything other than the initial license. We don't take a fee if you need help changing, like you just described. There's no other fees taken on profits. It's just a license fee of $34.99 for a 3-year license.
And that's why I only did a 3-year license. Over the years, that was the sweet spot. Instead of monthly subscriptions, people's credit cards are expiring. And when you have thousands of clients, people's credit cards, when you got 30, 40 people's cards expiring every month, you're going crazy. You're in the collection business. I don't want to play that game. Once you sign up, you got the software for 3 years. All you got to do is watch your auto trader and enjoy life. And don't worry about paying more.
Hey, Ed, here's a great question that I love. You're going to love it too. Jane is asking. Jane's got a lot of good questions tonight. Does this system ever go down, down, down so that the downs are greater than the gains?
Well, it can happen, of course. If the market drops if the coin price drops 20% in a month, but you only took 10% in profits on the wiggles, your account value will actually go down 10%. That's why I tell people quit looking at the account value because see, this is what they did. This is what BlackRock and Vanguard did over the last 5 years. They were having a grand old time pushing these coins lower and lower and lower. And I can tell you the behavior of what they were doing because I saw the public what they were doing. The public was bailing out of everything because they're seeing their account value go down. I'm like, stop looking at the account value. That's temporary because a coin, think about it mathematically. This isn't hard math. Anybody that made it through 3rd grade knows this. A coin can only drop 100%. But your profits you could take 20,000% in profits. The profits never end. The coin can only drop 100%, and that's if the coin goes out of business.
So, Jane, I think because I'm fully understanding this much more, and I could teach it at a pretty good level. It's actually not a bad thing. It drops 20% because now you're in a new channel of trading. Now it's going to level off at 20%. It might bounce, from 80 to 85, 80, 85, 80, 85. Maybe it drops another 20%. Then it trades at another level, and then all of a sudden you have this inventory at the top, and boom, it just takes one spike to sell you out of everything.
Yep, and it doesn't, and I'm not worried about what's at the top. The action is at the bottom, and that's where you got it, and that's where it's just a never-ending stream of money, forever.
Yeah, on the left side in the blue, Ed Barsano will never look at his account value. You know what he's looking at?
I don't look up here. I don't even care. I care about this.
Total profits taken. Bingo. Yep. That's all that matters. It's like in life in any business. The only thing that counts is results.
Yep. Do you mind, Ed? I'd like to give an example of one of the accounts that you have that you're not showing, but you talk about longevity and does it work over time? Do you mind if I talk about your very first trader?
If you like.
Okay. So you started in December 19th, 2021 with $200,000. The market from then to now let's just actually put a cap on it. So in a sorry, I've got dogs and kids and cats coming in the background. If you can hear it, my apologies.
Oh, we can.
Okay, good. So during that time from December 19th, 2021 to December 19th, 2025, that 4-year window, your 200,000, if you were a buy and holder in that period of time, current market value would be worth $12,000. 200 down to 12,000 because the market's been down 94%.
Down and I didn't do anything.
Right? But hold on to your hat. But in comparison, what you did in your trader, that same 200,000 in a 94% down market generated almost $1 million in profit. Now, if that doesn't give you a testament, that's not an isolated situation. You saw the screen that showed the people that were trading making 200, 300, 400%.
Yes.
Right, that one, right? 289%. So that's not an isolated situation. And oh, by the way, in that account, in this example, when Ed started it, never changed his coins, didn't have any research, didn't have the what I call the $1 billion report. There were only 35-ish coins that he could choose from on Coinbase, and he's never changed them since. So I would love
I'm
for
not
somebody to,
jumping in and out of coins. A lot of
right,
people want to do that kind of stuff. Don't do that because you got the market trapped at the bottom.
right.
And because you were buying, picture a ladder with the steps in the ladder, right? You can have all these steps, but you're at the bottom adding steps and taking them away. If it goes higher, you take away those steps. And if it goes lower again, you're putting them back. You got the market trapped for the rest of your life. You don't know how good
Hey
that
guys,
feels.
there's one thing I think that will connect the dots because I'm one of those that have used to the technical analysis and are what what theory what strategy are you in, and you always use those stop losses, right? Here
Mm.
is what the patience of the system is doing, guys. It's peeling back your three different cryptos that you're in. It peels it back where it's only taking a little tiny piece of your cash and coming in at a position. And then it's going lower, coming in at another position. You're not using your entire cash, so there's no need to do the stop losses because it's patient. It's giving a lot of room to keep buying in your position, right? As your account value grows, now you can do more. But maybe that helps your mentally picture
Yep.
what's happening. It isn't like that over leveraged, like Ed was talking about. He was leveraged when he probably it was inspiration to create this to realize if you're leveraging, you're at a high risk to lose your positions. Here, it's patiently money management, right? That's what Ed
Yep.
uses all the
Yep.
time. It's money management.
Yep. Very
And
good
that
point.
is,
And risk management. Now, the
yeah,
biggest criticism I'll get when a lot of people come on, I'll tell you what I always hear a lot of times. I want all my money working for me. I want it all in. And it's like, no, then you're a buy and holder. Then you're on the left side of the screen.
Yeah,
You want to reserve the money. Don't worry about how much it's taking. Don't worry about that. That's up to the market to decide that. Any one of these coins can jump up 200% in one day. And you're going to close out all these lots that you bought on the way down. I mean,
right.
you got the market trapped forever. I don't know if people know this, but the toll booth industry is a multi-billion dollar industry. You can Google it. Anything I say, you can Google, by the way. And and all they do is park a toll booth out there, and the cars come and pay them. And it's a multi-billion dollar a year business. If we were the toll booth, that you would pay, the car would pay, but then they'd go a few feet and we'd make them pay again. And then they'd go a few feet and we'd make them pay again. If they tried to go backwards, we start stacking toll booths in front of them. They can't even go forward.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll
that's
chase
good.
that car all the way to his garage, baby. I'm
hey Ed, we gotta move on because we still got
having so
quite a
much
few.
fun. Come on,
I
man.
know.
Come
I mean,
on,
we got the
man.
market by the you know what.
Well, this always happens with a great audience that asks great questions.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. It's good stuff. So, Carl is asking, will the auto trader use coins I already own if I move them to Kraken? Okay, here's the deal because I
Great
experienced this.
question.
I can answer this. Great question. So, normally, what you want to do is this: you want to take either fiat money and buy USDC if you're on Coinbase, or just send US dollars if you're on Kraken. Kraken, you cannot trade USDC with the trader. On Coinbase, you can do either US dollar or USDC. However, if you're going to pick, let's say you own XRP and it's already sitting in Coinbase, and you identify XRP as one of the coins you want the trader to trade, it's going to suck in your XRP that you're holding. You may not want that. So if
Because
you
I don't
don't
know what
want
you
that,
paid for it.
hold on. If that's not what you want, you've got to move your XRP elsewhere or put it into the portfolio that's available on these exchanges. But the best the best rule of thumb is to just identify fiat money that you send over, or you sell some of your crypto into USDC or US dollar in order for the trade. The trader will pull out of your USDC or US dollars. Okay, so that's the way it works. I hope I answered your
Yeah,
question there.
you did, but to me, you're better off just because you're what I call top heavy. You got all that inventory already sitting up here that you bought, and then you're down here, but it's all underwater. You're better off liquidating it, go to cash, go to USD or USDC, and let the auto trader use the money because it'll allocate the funds properly. It'll spread that money out so that you can trade for the rest of your life.
Yeah, the next two questions are pretty easy. What are the benefits of having multiple crypto auto trading accounts? Here's the benefit. The
There are
maximum you can
some.
have in any one GoBabyTrade account is $2 million. So if you want to trade with more than that, you got to have a multiple account. Or maybe you just want to try different strategies. You can't run I mean, you can't trade. You could trade several coins, but you don't need to trade more than three or four. If you are trading more than three or four, you're diluting yourself, you're diluting your profits. So, are there any other reasons, Ed, why somebody would want to have two accounts other than
Well,
what I
some
just
people have. I
mentioned?
mean, I had a guy just today, he bought a second account.
Okay, that
And
was personal. Yeah, all
and
right.
yeah, I mean, he wants to add some more coins and he didn't want to
Have
just
too
mix them
many.
up with the coins that he
Right.
already had here. You don't
Right.
Okay.
want to put too many coins. Let me say this. If you're I know a guy trading with 100 coins. He's only got his money spread out to 1% per coin. He literally makes 3 cents a trade. I mean, this guy gets trades all day long. He's lucky to make $1. And I'm like, you know what? 3 to 5 coins is the best way to go. If you're trading with 5 coins, if I spread funds to invest equally here, whoops, that was help. I always do that. The button's up above it. Spread percents equally.
There you
So
go.
see, if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 coins, I've got my money spread out to 67 or 16.7% for each coin. Now, say I was only on 3 coins. Now spread funds equally, spread percents equally. 33% per coin. I have more money allocated to each coin, which means I can buy bigger lot sizes and I make more profits per trade. It's all about profits per trade. You want to make a lot per trade. And if you spread yourself too thin, then, that's not good. Then you make a lot less per trade the more coins you add.
Okay, good. Now, this is easy. Ed A is asking, what are the
Start
three
with
and
one
5 year?
trader though, and then you'll learn. You'll figure out if you ever need another one. And if you
Yeah.
ever send me email and say, Ed, do you think I should get a second trader? I will always answer the same, and that is, show me tell me why you want a second trader. And I'll tell you, 9 times out of 10, I'll tell you, you don't need a second trader for that.
Hmm.
There's no
So
You,
reason.
you just added
I
more
do have a
money.
I do have a
Pardon
teeny
me?
bit of input. So, for example, if you have one Coinbase account, I'm going to use this example because I actually live this, and you have a wife or a husband or children that you want to start an account with, then Coinbase allows you to create portfolios where you can have one trading account, one exchange account, and still you have to, if you have multiple accounts, say it's two or three or four, you still need a separate license to connect to each portfolio. But that's a way where you can create all multiple accounts within the same exchange and be able to point a trader to each one. For example, I've got two young sons, three young sons that I'm going to start traders for, but I don't want to have them open up their own Coinbase account.
Coinbase account, right.
Perfect. Okay. Um, Ed is asking, what are the 3 year and 5 year returns for a Kraken account versus Coinbase account? I have no idea.
Oh,
Do
I
you,
don't
Rick?
have I'm sorry, we don't have that report.
Yeah. Do
I
you
don't have
recommend?
I didn't generate this report for the stock accounts. And I
Do
don't
you
have a
recommend?
3 year progress. It's only a 1 year. This is only a 1 year report. And
All right.
it's just the idea here is just to show you what you need to start with. It's not like we don't know what returns you're going to get. That's up to the market. But I think now, getting in at the bottom like we are now, I mean, that's going to be fantastic.
I
But you need
keep
to build
I
inventory though, so you want the
Yeah,
market to move around a lot and get that auto trader starting to work because it's
yeah,
going to
please
start
keep
building inventory. It starts out putting its toe in the water and then to see where the market's going. You notice these charts here. Let me point this out here. You notice I started out right there, right? I said it's going down. You notice everything we're doing is based on a down market. I'm showing you that even in a down market, you're killing it. Going up is a no-brainer because then that's just nothing but profit. Because if the coins are just going to be going higher a lot, you're always going to be buying and selling even in an up market. Because even in an up market, there's going to be a down. There's downs. So even if the coin went higher, just like Bitcoin went to 120,000, what did it do now? It's back at 78. So it went down. So even in a bull market, you're going to have bear market periods, and the auto trader is going to clean up during during that down market.
Yep.
exactly. Let me continue with the questions, Ed. And by the way, folks, I often repeat what Ed Barsano just said. This trader is totally dependent on what the market gives it. There's no guarantee. I had once, the market was going so sideways in 1 week, it took no profits. But guess what? It certainly bought when it went down. So it was still doing what it needed to do, and I was okay with that. And then I had 1 week where it took profits every day. So it's market dependent. We don't know which way the market's going to go. The market
And
could
if
go up
anybody
20.
says they do, they're lying.
That's right. Yeah. So anyway, thank you for your question, Ed. He also said, do you recommend one over the other? I prefer Coinbase only because I have a motto. Once in crypto, stay in crypto. So Coinbase allows you to do
USDC.
USDC. That's a stable coin. That's crypto. And
I
there's so
kind of
many
like
options.
Coinbase better than Kraken personally,
But
because
Kraken's a
they have
great
the
company.
portfolios that's kind of nice, and they have the Coinbase One card. When if you sign up for the Coinbase One card, they give you reduced fees. I actually get a check every week. They give me like $400 a week in kickbacks on the fees, 25% kickback.
Ah,
I'm like, that's cool, It's like, why not, just throwing more money at me.
Yep.
So I
And
kind of like Coinbase.
USDC sitting there pays you a yield while it's waiting to be picked up by the trader.
And then
Yep.
I
I
got the
love.
Coinbase Visa card that I use everywhere I go. It's like I never have to make a payment on this card.
Okay, let's move on. We got to move on. Edward, can you see the questions now or no?
Cannot. I'm blank.
Okay. So, okay. So, Jeffrey is asking, is the total profits taken included in the account value?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
That answers that. So, thank you for asking. Jane, you've got two additional. Boy, Jane's asking away tonight. She says, does the crypto auto trader select the coins or do we? We covered that, Jane. There's a button when you first buy the license. There is a button that says default. And Ed Barsano has selected three very, very, very volatile coins there. If you're newer to crypto and you don't want to bother with trying to figure out what or how, or you don't want to email us and ask our opinion, you just hit that button and it'll auto fill it in for you. You don't have
Yep.
to choose the coins.
And
Yeah.
Or
Ed, correct me if I'm wrong, but the three defaults are PRCL, XCN, and Edge.
Right now, yes. Well, they may have no. They changed
Oh, they did.
because the
Okay.
report changed. Right. Yeah. I'm not sure
okay,
what they are. But it's going to come right off the top of this report. If you know what coins, which exchange you're trading at, Kraken or Coinbase, you see in the highest trade count report, it actually shows you, oh, like this one here, PRCL is available at both exchanges. But if you know you're going to trade at Coinbase, then you can say, okay, well, give me that number two guy, Swift.
And
Why
and
wouldn't
and
I want
Ed
that?
and Ed, I'm kind of missing what is happening with number one, two, three. Is that because it's the most volatile?
Yes.
Yes.
So that's really where you want to hang out at in the top coins.
Even
Yeah,
the
but
top
they
20.
change.
If
They
you look at
change.
the top 20 or even more, I mean, like the top 50 coins, they haven't even gone to a new lows in months. And they're just all they're doing is this. It's laughable. Again,
So
I'm being
guys,
irreverent.
so like Carl asked about, can I trade my current coins? What's so special about the way this works is not only the money management, okay, it's a combination of several factors. It's not just because you like the coins you're trading it. You don't care what the coin is. You just need it to move and move fast most often because that's where all these opportunities are. It just keeps buying and selling, buying and
Yep.
selling. It isn't, oh, I like this coin. I like to trade it. That has no bearing on this. You like a coin, that's fine. You would keep that. Keep it for your own sake, whatever.
Right.
This is you put it in cash, and then you go to this report here. It's really simply laid out. Pick some of these top coins of volatility and start letting your money work on those coins.
And you can always send me email, shoot me some email, and say, what do you think of these, Ed? I'm open to you. You owned me for 3 years, and I love to hear myself talk. So when you call me, we'll talk for 3 hours.
You're really funny too, so that's why we like you.
And I'm so serious. See, that's the thing. I'm not even joking, even though I
Okay,
sound like I
well,
am.
hey, I'm serious. I'm serious too. I got to get back to the questions. All right, Ed?
All right.
Anyway,
Spoil sport.
Jane says something very prophetic here. She says, am I correct in the statement that the auto crypto trader is a better way to go since the crypto market is more volatile than the stock market and the fact that it trades 24/7, 365? You
Yep,
are
that's
dead
two of the
on,
good
woman.
reasons.
Dead
You are
on.
on board already. You are speaking to the choir.
Absolutely.
It
Thank
blows
you for
away the stock market. The stock market's at record highs right now, and watch it. We all lived through those crashes. We know what happens when that thing comes a tumbling down. I don't want to be anywhere near it. I'm not putting down stocks and all because, everyone, I do have a lot of people who own stock traders also, and they're cleaning up, so, but I love cryptos. There is no market that moves like this other than crypto. Stock prices don't do this. I never
Yes.
seen a stock price go up 100% in a day, or
No.
even 250% or 50%. I mean, it's just these things never. It's just pick a coin, man. Pick here. Let's go to layer three, L3.
Is that only a month chart?
Yeah, that was only a monthly. That was a monthly chart.
Yeah.
So look at this. Look at layer three here. On 428, it did that beautiful jump. And look at all these spikes. This is just gold, man. Just gold. Just talk about free money. What an insult to humanity. I mean, anything you own below that price, it just sold off profitably. And then it goes down here and you buy it again, and then it goes right back up. And then comes right back down, then goes right back up. It's like, what a joke. I'm telling you, I don't even understand, how everybody doesn't see this stuff, man. It just kills me. And that's why I'm doing these webinars, because this is a therapy session for me. You know that, right? I get to talk and you listen because you're the therapist. I get it off my
Yep.
chest
Well,
because I don't know how everybody doesn't see it.
you know what the beautiful thing is? How many buttons did you have to push, and how much screen time did you have to make those profits?
No, nothing, man. It's just
None.
free money. I
Zero.
mean, somebody called me up, I don't know, a little while ago, and he says, "Ed, did you see what was it? One of these coins." He said, I think it might have been layer three. He said, "Ed, man, my auto trader, it went up 250% today." And then I was looking at the coin. He texted it to me. And then I looked at the coin. I said, "Wait a minute, I'm trading that coin too." And I went and looked, man. I cleaned up, man, at 1:30 in the morning. How beautiful was that?
So what do I always say, Ed? You have made making money boring.
Boring. I posted that on Facebook. It was really funny. And somebody on Facebook, somebody I don't even know, said, "There's no way you knew that coin was going to do that." And
You're
my
right.
response was, "You're right. I had no idea that it was going to do that." My auto trader, though, prepped me for the kill. And that's
Okay.
what the auto trader's doing. It's constantly prepping you for the kill in the
See
market.
that.
So that way, no matter what manipulation they keep throwing at you by jerking around with the prices and all the misinformation on the internet, I don't, that, I'm not paying attention to any of that. I know the auto trader has prepped me for the kill, and then all of a sudden the coin jumps up 50%, and it sweeps off all that free money. I mean, look at this, man. The stock market does not do this. I mean, this is again an insult to humanity. I don't know
Okay.
how people say, well, if it was real, there'd be no stock market. And I'm like, or they used to say that about the stock market, and I'm like, well, I don't. It is real, and don't worry though, because nobody will ever do what I'm saying right now. Everything, all of you, it's like you won't all sign up. Obviously, a lot of you more than likely will, but it's like someone once said, if it was real, everybody would already have it. And I said, well, why isn't everybody drinking smart water? They're not. Everybody doesn't do stuff. Plus, there's too much negative information. Because the crypto market is so low, all the naysayers have come out. Everywhere you go, everybody's afraid of crypto. Go to
Hey, Ed,
Quest Diagnostics, that blood work place where you get
Ed,
blood work done. Let me just say this and then I'll let you talk. Go in there, and while everybody's waiting to get their blood work done, just spout out, say, hey, anybody want to talk crypto? And watch how everybody turns away from you. It's like nobody wants to hear it. So you couldn't fix society if you wanted to.
okay. So let's go to the last few questions here. So Loretta is asking, you showed the
Yeah, I
top
notice all
trader.
the women are asking the questions, plus
Yeah.
anybody named Ed.
That's funny. And we got one John there, and we had a Bill, I think. You showed the
Okay.
top traders, Ed. Please show us the bottom traders.
Well, all right. I mean, we can go on and on and on, but there's something else that this report does is it chops anybody that's done a manual trade, it knocks them off the screen because I can't trust what's going on. And that
Mhm.
eliminates quite a few people because they did like I said here, I saw this like I was saying here on this one coin here, I said it's only well this one's down. Where's the one that was up?
ABT.
Was it ABT? Let me go back up.
Yeah, ABT is up today, 3.8%.
What am I doing?
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Just show the bottom 10 trades out of the top 50.
Well,
Show
what
the
I wanted
bottom.
to show was what I wanted to demonstrate was like ABT was up. Well, it was up a few minutes ago when I showed it to you before. It was up a couple dollars and I didn't take it. But you see, sometimes it'll be up like $30 and I won't take it because a lot of people, though, when they see the target price right there like that, they'll go ahead and take the profit.
Right.
They'll manually click close the position and take it, which
But
is what you don't.
however, I believe what Loretta was
Melissa.
referring to was show the top traders on the top 50 traders. She wanted to see the bottom 50. I don't
Oh,
think
is
you
that
run.
what you wanted?
Yeah, I don't think
Because
I don't.
I can
That
only.
report, that report is open to anybody to see, by the way. It's under top traders. So the bottom, okay, so the bottom, there's number 50. They made 62%. So Ed,
Right.
you knocked off the top $1 million accounts. Did you also
Yeah,
knock off the
I took
the
off the ones that have like over like this one here. I don't know why it should even be there, because it should have lopped it off at 1 million.
So
Any
right.
right.
So
accounts over a
time
million, I
time
took
out.
off the screen.
So what Loretta, I believe, unless it's,
Melissa,
I apologize, I can't see the screen because it just went black again. But I believe what she's
Melissa.
asking for is this shows the top traders. She wants to see the worst performing, which you don't run a report
Well,
on.
there are. Well, nobody did. Worst performing are the people who are gambling. There are people who would literally close all their positions at a loss because they heard some propaganda out there, and they sell everything, and they cause losses. They cause themselves to lose money. I never close a position at a loss. I never do a manual trade. Um, but there are people out there that would just, like I said, even Attila said it, he recommends 3 to 5 coins. That's it. And there are people out there with 50 coins. So
Exactly.
they're
That's
not going to be
suicide.
the top. They're not going to be the top performers. People will mess up their traders. We already come. It already comes deep with the default strategy already set. I mean, there's only one screen of settings in here, but if you think about it, there's only one knob on your toaster, and you still burn your toast. What if there was 10 knobs?
I love that. I love that. That's great.
I don't know where
Yeah,
this
but
stuff comes from. I swear
Oh,
to
yeah.
God, I don't know where that came from.
So
But
that's
I mean, I'm
great.
pretty sure if you had, 10 settings, what you could do to yourself. That's why we try to tell people, Attila tells you too, leave the default settings alone.
so
Don't
Those
let me
are
touch
give
it.
you
set.
let me give you a hypothetical scenario. If we were to be able to show you a machine that has been refined over 26 years that simply cranks out profits without you having to look at it, worry about it, apply any emotion, anything that simply cranks out profit. Remember, I gave you a real scenario, 200,000 manually put in, buy and hold is now worth 12 grand. The same 200,000 automated in a system over a 4-year period made 5x your money. Now, is that a guarantee in the future? Absolutely not. But you're talking about a scenario in a 94% plus down market all by itself. If you think you can, one, here are the principles. Don't touch the trader, leave it as default. If you're going to touch the trader, if you're going to mix in emotions, if you're going to jump in and you're going to try and outthink 3 million lines of code, don't buy the software.
No, I
Yeah.
wouldn't say that, but
No, I would. I
you can
did.
always, if you feel like changing your strategy, feel free to shoot us an email. Send me an email at support@gobabytrade.com and say, "Hey Ed, I'm thinking of doing this. What do you think?" I love sharing my opinions, and
We
I'll
know.
let you know
We
what I
know
think
that.
of it.
We know.
And I mean, I'm not a hard guy to talk to. I remember one time on my old trader, I was up 943,000 over in the total profits taken, and I said to Attila, I didn't take that, and it was throwing him off. And he's like, "Yeah, but it says you took it." I never took no $943,000. And I
Hey,
said,
Ed.
what I took was this is what I took over here. And I started showing him these. This is what I took. I took whatever the market wanted to give me. And it wasn't, it added up to $943,000. See, if you're running a 7-Eleven, you can't sell $50 bags of potato chips. Nobody's going to buy one. The name of the game is sell a lot of $2 bags.
Ed.
It's just, see,
Ed.
again, Kirk, it's common sense stuff. I didn't invent commerce, is what I'm saying. Commerce has been there for thousands of years. All I did is I said, well, I'm going to run an auto trader and make it use commerce. What? How dare you?
Okay.
I didn't
Ed,
invent this.
good point. I love the toaster analogy. I'm gonna steal that
That
from
was a
you.
good one.
So so John is asking, when the coin spikes, will the auto trader sell all the coins in to capture maximum profits?
Yes. Anything below it that reaches your profit goal. If your profit goal is 5% and it jumped 50%, all those lots, all that inventory that was above it,
Cha-ching.
that it just
Cha-ching.
jumped above that, that is below it, it's gonna sell off.
And
If
the
the
AI
price,
will look to maximize the profit on each one.
just like when this bucket right here on the right goes up here, all those lots down below it will sell off.
Right. Okay. Please stop there because we got three more questions. Loretta again. Thank you for your question. I read that profits depend on both volatility and liquidity. What about the liquidity? Well,
Don't worry about it. We're not even selling that much. You don't have that much. We've
yeah,
never had orders getting rejected because of liquidity.
yeah. And but don't forget the trader doesn't hold any liquidity. The trader is selling the buy and the sell orders over, sending it over to your Coinbase or Kraken. That's where the liquidity lives, not on the
Let me
trader.
tell you, Alchemy Pay, ACH, a couple years ago, in like I think it was January of
5.
25, it jumped from 2 cents. Now let me say first about Alchemy Pay, ACH. It was one of the 35 coins that Coinbase had when I first automated them. That's all they had was 35 coins. Alchemy Pay was one of those. So all the new clients coming on board, they would all ask me, "What do you think I should trade?" And because a lot of people didn't know crypto and they didn't know what coins to trade, I said, "Well, I'm trading these coins here: ACH, GRT, Dogecoin." So I was trading those coins. And so a lot of people had ACH. I mean, thousands of people had ACH. And when that coin jumped from 2 cents to almost 6 cents, in over a 5 day period, we were literally sending tens of thousands of orders a day to Coinbase and to Kraken to close positions. I thought they were going to crash for sure. Because, I mean, we sent so many thousands of trades. I'm like, they are going to crash, man. Because I'm watching these thousands of orders that go by. And they sucked them all up. They actually filled all those orders beautifully. So I don't worry about what you just said about
Awesome.
volatility and
Okay. Thank you.
liquidity. It's not a problem.
I don't understand this question. I'm not sure. MP, you may need to resend this. Let me try to read this and see if it makes sense. How MP says how not to become someone's exit liquidity with this tool. Not sure what that means.
Maybe
How
it's
not,
referring to the layer two. Everything that is within your trader is not exposed to anybody. So there's no way that someone can manipulate your trade because
right,
the level two screen is interrogating the level two data, which no one other than an exchange or broker sees, with the exception of this trader. So there's no one that can see your position. It just knows, yes, they are limit orders because the positions that you have a predicted programmed strike point of profits, unless the AI kicks in and it breaches that gap and it takes as much profit as the market will give it. But those are not orders that are floated out that anybody can see them. If it
publicly.
spikes, the trader tells it to sell it, and at that instance, that's the only time that the market sees it. So nobody can step in front of it and manipulate it.
Yeah, and we don't have time to show the level two screens. That takes way too long. But Paul's got a
Okay.
question. Does never closing at a loss mean no profit ever possible?
No.
No.
Definitely
No,
not.
because there's always the constant wiggle.
Yeah.
There's constant wiggles. You can't stop the market from doing this, going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. That never ends. You're always selling at the bottom. We're selling at the bottom of this bucket, not the top. So you're holding what's up here, but you're constantly pumping money wherever the price goes. That's where we're trading. We follow the price wherever it goes, and just never. We don't let the market breathe without paying us. They got to constantly keep paying us. The only way to stop us is to run that company straight out of business.
Yep.
Because as
And
long as
and
he
and
stays in business, he's going to keep giving me money.
here's
He's
a
going to
simple
keep
analogy. If the
paying me.
profit goal was set at 1%, and it took 1% 10,000 times, that means it would take 10,000%, not of the overall value, but every trade. And you already know that the default settings are 3% on the downside and 3% on the upside. But it's not limited to buying it as low as possible and selling it as high as possible. That's the beauty of more than 3 million lines of code. It literally
Well,
is, we talked about it at the beginning, set it and forget it.
So we're not sure what MP's question really was, but that was the best
they
answer we
said
could
they're
get.
saying that MP wrote two more comments. Loretta, resend your question to me. I clicked on the wrong button. You know what I mean. MP says define exit liquidity first, as the answer is not how the tool works, but how it can identify situations where there is manipulation at large, or manipulation at
Oh, we
large is
see it. That's
happening.
all over the level two screen. So you said
Yeah.
you
All
didn't
right.
want to show that.
All right.
I
Show the
was just
level two
showing it
screen
right
real
here.
quick.
Look at all these fake orders at the top of this. 1850. Are you trading in $18 lot sizes? $13 lot sizes right here? $20 lot sizes? These are fake orders. A lot of times those fake orders would be down here, which means they're just trying to get you to think you're going to buy at this price, but but you're really going to be paying a much higher price. The software adds up this liquidity on the right. It says how high does that price have to go for me to fill the order that I'm trying to fill? If I'm buying, the price might have to go this high to buy enough shares to cover my trade, to cover my buy. If I'm selling, how low does it have to go for me to be able to sell as much as I need to sell? How low is that price going to go? How much am I going to get on that sell?
Yep.
So,
And
the
and
software sees manipulation. That's only the tip of the iceberg, man. It also sees when the data feeds are slowing down too much, and the software says, "Hold on, I'm not going to jump in the middle of that because the market's not even moving. I'm not going to submit an order in a market that's not moving. Something's
yep.
going on."
Yep. And
So there,
furthermore, when it sees the manipulation, it just backs up and says, hold on a second. When the market slows down and people stop manipulating the market and there's true data, that's why it'll actually put a position in to buy. And if it sees the manipulation throughout that level 2 screen, it'll back off and it'll cancel the order until
just
it's
like
real
right
data.
here, just
Right.
like right
Oh,
here, it says
perfect
order
example.
canceled. We submitted the order. The market didn't behave right. The software said, baloney, I'm going to cancel that order. And that's all full automation. So that means it saw corruption. It saw data that didn't fit, didn't work for the trade. The software automatically canceled the order. And that's what you need, the software that can think for itself. Plus, it has AI in there constantly working for you. Every time the software goes to submit an order, it calls AI and says, what do you think of this? Do you see something that I'm not seeing?
One thing we didn't mention tonight is
25
this.
years of development. If you were an auto mechanic, you'd probably be very good at what you do. And that's the auto trader. For 25 years, I live inside this software, making it better and better. And the more corruption I identify, and not only me identifying it, but other people sharing with me, and then I go, "Oh yeah, you're right. I see that. All right, let's add some code here to prevent that from ever happening again." That's why the auto trader can run 100% unattended. Otherwise, you'd think I would be a nervous wreck. I've got thousands of clients, and these auto traders are trading the market all day by themselves. I'm at ease with the planet, man. I trust the software.
One thing we neglected to say all night, I don't think we've said this yet. This trader, since it's been out in crypto, has never seen a bull market.
Right.
Okay. So
Been a
imagine
long term, long grind down.
imagine the numbers. I mean, you see the numbers here. In 1 year on Ed Barsano's trader, 31, just under $32,000 in profits on an account started with about 25 grand or
I mean, it's
whatever,
like finding
25.
money on the ground almost every day of your life. I
Come on
mean,
now.
if you found a $5 bill on the ground, you'd be happy. How about if you found money 10 days, 5 out of 10 days in a row? Every other day you'd be walking with your head down, looking on the ground. But the auto trader's doing that, just constantly pumping money.
So specifically to MP and I think it was Rex as advanced question is what exit liquidity is in the market. Obviously, you know what it means, so maybe you educate people, but I'll make the comment about it's what is a whale or a larger trader, what understanding what their positions are to be able to sell into the marketplace without negatively or positively affecting the value of that particular trade or market. So all of that, when you whoever MP is a discussion around going back to, as we pointed out and began to explain it, for how the trader detects corruption and manipulation within that marketplace. Obviously, when there's larger trades that come through, again, most people, if anybody, unless you have advanced trading systems, has access to that level 2 data. It's built into the tool, so the tool actually interrogates and sees that manipulation and sees larger lots that come through identified as whale activity that positively or negatively could affect that particular trade, and it sniffs it out, cancels the order if it's a manipulated move. So if you're an advanced trader, obviously you are, because you have knowledge of what that exit liquidity means. On a simple basis, the tool is programmed to detect legitimate from illegitimate, and take advantage on very small market moves.
Yep. That's simple. All right.
I've
He's
seen
asking
this
what
level
last.
2 screen where it had 11 shares, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, going all the way up the screen. Total fake data. And then the auto trader says, skip that. I'm not even going to jump into that because I'm not going to get filled at any of these low prices if each one of these orders is only 11 shares all the way up. I'm going to end up paying some sky high price up here.
Hey,
So the
Ed,
auto
we got
trader
to,
knows how
Yeah,
to
we
on
not to
behalf,
exhausted
take.
that.
yeah,
You want to know what excites me a lot? Let me tell you what really has me pumped.
Answering questions?
That too, but BlackRock has got me so excited. I've been watching these guys for 5 years. I've been watching them play their games with the market. They had a grand old time running these coins down to record lows and driving every buy and holder out there out. Or the ones that still are holding, they're just underwater, so they might as well be out. Okay? Because they're just dead. And so they were having a grand old time doing that. And so what was happening is while we were on this long-term downtrend, we were loading up, right? We're buying and selling along the way, but we were loading up as the price went lower. We kept building that inventory all the way to the bottom. Well, you know who else was doing that? BlackRock was doing that. They are now sitting on $100 billion. This is all Googleable, by the way. They're sitting on $100 billion worth of inventory, and you know what? It's all underwater. So not only that, that excites me because watch when they run this market up, they are gonna make a fortune. All right. So besides that, they also have, and again, Googleable, they've got 25,000 employees. I'm dying. I mean, that's $5 billion a year in salaries they're paying. These guys are drowning, man. They are drowning at these prices. And all they're doing when they're pushing these prices even lower is they are sucking up more shares as much as they possibly can get their hands on. Because when this market turns around, they are going to make a fortune. But they are really under the gun right now. They're sitting with they're pumping out $5 billion a year in salaries. That's real money. And they got all that overhead buildings and you name it, all that overhead. They're dying for this market to take off. So
hey, Ed,
I got them right. I got them trapped right at
last,
the
last,
bottom, right where I like them. So now we're gonna
last,
see. And BlackRock, it's your move.
last question of the night, NP. He's asking, what oracles do you use for correct data?
Well, whatever, I'm not going to tell you what my data sources are if you're a developer. So, but I'm not sure you would want.
Good for you.
I
That
know.
is a developer question.
Yeah.
So,
But I
Yeah.
also
so
have, I've got multiple data feeds, multiple data providers, and and my software also reconciles between what's going on with Kraken coin prices and Coinbase's prices and making sure the data I'm looking at is real. So there's a lot of stuff. There's just, I mean, I couldn't even begin to go into all that. There's so much stuff built into the software to make sure
Well,
that everything, like I said, these auto traders are trading for thousands of people.
yeah.
And so I want everything to be as real as can be. We don't
Okay,
sell
Ed.
at a loss. You won't see any losing trades any of this.
So that's pretty much does it, folks. I want to reiterate that Edward, my business partner, has put into the chat the discount link for the UNA. It ends in UNA, gobabytrade.com/UNA. That entitles anybody and everybody on this Zoom tonight to get $1,000 off the retail price. If you have any issues at all, any questions not covered here tonight, we're going to end this now for the sake of not keeping everybody to midnight. But our emails are there. If you have a technical question, it's support@gobabytrade.com. If it's a general question or you need a help with a connection, uh, you want us to do a quick Zoom with you and help you connect your API to your Coinbase or Kraken, just send us an email. We'll be happy to help you. Not a problem. Takes 5 minutes. That is, what is it? Support at financialintelligenceforyou.com?
Yes, I posted it multiple times.
Great.
The discount link, our support emails, and
Yeah.
much in the way that Kurt and the way that he treats his audience like family, we do the same. No one's left behind. All questions are answered. You can, as Kirk said, we're going to do this every Monday night at the same time. So we often have a lot of people that come back because as new information evolves, as the platform evolves, we share new things. We do post, and I just posted it in. We put the replays. This has been recorded or being recorded. Once it renders, give us about 48 hours, and it will be up on our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is the repository for all of the recordings. So please go there. We will also be sharing that link with Kirk and his team so that they can continue to share it out to their audience. So your resources or your time is extraordinarily valuable to us. And congratulations, you made it to the end of a marathon, a couple hours in training with Kirk, and then coming on and spending or investing your valuable time with us.
Yeah.
My hope is, or our hope is, that you gain some knowledge out of this. We welcome you back. You're part of the family automatically.
Every Monday night.
If you choose to take advantage of the discount and automate a portion of your financial life, God bless. Amen. I always lead by thanking Mr. Barsano and his 26 years of effort and 50 years of programming prowess to bring
I
something to
started when
market.
I was 2.
Right, he started with you actually before you were born. But it is a personal benefit to me and my family, as I talked about. From a biblical perspective, my one of my directives is to a good man creates a legacy for his family's family. This has literally changed my life. I talked about before. We're all a product of the product. So if you walk away with a little bit more than what you knew before, that's our goal. And it's a blessing for us. We hope it's a blessing for you with sharing this knowledge. And we're here. We're not going anywhere. We'll be here every week telling the same story, educating, sharing everything that we can to make your life better financially.
Amen.
And it makes a big difference that you were on the call. We can hear from you, the programmer. So appreciate your time. And one last advice, okay? Do I move it to 5% profits or not?
That's killing you, Kurt.
I would.
I mean,
I would.
I'm just going to let it roll.
Not?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm going to hold it forever. So,
yeah, I can even change it for you too. I can see I have access to all the traders.
You know what? Do it, please. Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, I got it. I'll do that. It only takes me 2 seconds.
Okay, thanks, Ed.
You're welcome, Kurt. Thank you. Thank you for letting me speak to your audience too, by the way.
Yeah, great to have you.
Look at this, January 1st. Let me just see what I just noticed here. It's never worry about a series of days where things are going down and all your auto trader seems to be doing is buying. Because look what happens when things are going up and all your auto traders doing is selling. So starting on January 1st of 2025, look at all these sell orders. This is consecutive sell orders. No buys. No buys.
Wow.
There's one buy on the 26th right here. These are all sell, 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 sell. I just can't get over it.
So we always like to, and the man of the hour is Kirk. Thank you again for allowing us to share a little bit of knowledge with your audience. We like to make closing remarks. I've already given you a handful of my closing remarks. I just want to say thank you so much for for investing your valuable time. Attila, what do you have as closing comments?
Yeah, I always say that whether you're working for a W-2 or a 1099, you earn your money, and then your money basically in TradFi, traditional finance, is unemployed. So I feel it's our responsibility to give our money a job. And I don't feel there's a better way to give your money a job and employ your money, which is the job of employing your money is to multiply itself, right, while you're sleeping. I don't think there's a better way to do it than this trader, really. I know Ed now 14 years. I know where he's been. and where he's gone in all these years, and he's incredible. So give your money a job, multiply your money, and we'll see you next Monday night. Kirk, thanks for the opportunity, and thanks for getting the word out to your audience.
No, I mean it was actually provoked by one of our members. They wanted to say, "You have any investment under ideas?" And I had just been, doing my research with you guys. What a great match! It's really no lose for anybody to join. We just want to disseminate good information, so we're great to partner with you guys, and we'll see you guys every Monday night.
Yeah, we are proud
Awesome.
to do that.
Thank you.
Ed Barsano, what are your parting words of wisdom?
Go Navy.
Thank you for your
Where I
service.
started programming.
Very good, Kurt. We mirror your sentiment. What a valuable blessing it is that we've come together to share valuable knowledge, and we hope that everyone in your audience walks away with something from
And
this.
I am going to get me an Una account for sure.
Yes, let's get you going.
Thank you.
All right.
Well,
thanks, guys. We'll see you next Monday. Have a great week.
Yep, very good.
All right, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye
Good
for
night.
now.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.